Yo, what's up everybody? Today we're going to be doing some more of the kageboushi playthrough, and yeah, going to be doing the second part today. I'm really quite interested in what this plot is actually going to bring to us today, because yeah, yesterday was really quite cool. We sort of saw the beginning of the Hatageyama crime that had actually occurred, that had actually killed everybody in the family. We saw the police side of it, all the investigation related things, and yeah, we're sort of really starting in with a doom and gloom perspective. I suppose we're sort of seeing I suppose you could say like the first chapter wasn't really that bad in terms of the events that happened, but then yeah, the Hinamizawa gas disaster has happened, which I'm actually really surprised about the fact that it happened so early. But yeah, I suppose this story really is going to get into why am I clicking that? Right, yeah, I don't think I've ever made that mistake. To be fair, I am kind of tired, but like still, how am I making that mistake? This is actually going to be quite interesting. So this is after the gas disaster, 3 days after. Saturday, June 25th, 1983. The bookshelves were hourly lined up in the side the record room of the Metropolitan Public Safety Division. Countless files and bundles of documents were stored here. There were public security incident reports and related material from as far back as the end of World War II. Jesus, this thing dates, holy shit. It's actually really quite surprising. So they must have had some really confidential and just interesting things. Like if I was a police officer and I obviously, committed several work crimes which involved me, unauthorized access to confidential information, I would probably have a very entertaining read. Let's just say that, yeah, despite the sheer amount of effort spent maintaining these records, their content is extremely well in my public. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. That really doesn't surprise me. Most are destined to stay buried away and remain secret for all eternity. Interesting. Oh, I wonder if the one based on, not because the cases go unsolved, or because the truth is never found. Oh, yeah, fair. If anything, the investigations that have happened here have exposed a large number of trends, structures, or fraudulent records of big-shot politicians, high-level bureaucrats, and political organisations. Yeah, they have the government has too much power. They literally can't make these cases public. However, because of that, countless investigations are suspended without being made public. Yeah. Because the subjects listed here often involve people with a lot of influence in the political and economic world. So of course, not many of those people band together to try and find common ground because they have that authority. Yeah, and occasionally commit fraud. Yep, and they know they can get away with it just because of how much power they have. So what would happen if those documents were inadvertently revealed to the general public? What? Maybe people would grow less trusting of politics, and the government would lose its authority. Yeah, definitely, yeah. I thought that was just kind of implying that it had actually happened. That would be really quite weird. If that happened, it would have a devastating effect on the population. Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and definitely tourism, people moving in as well. And the festival system would be crippled beyond control, and there would even be a risk that the chaos could lead to total collapse. God, that really is big. Politics, economics, diplomacy. There's no exaggeration to say that the so-called dark history of this country is stored in this room. I like that, yeah, God. As a result, not even police officers are allowed to freely enter and leave this room. Jesus Christ, a strict ID card and passport check is required for entry. Wow. Oops. Oh, did he actually forget to... my toe carelessly bumped into the side of a protruding bookcase. Yes, I really wonder what Akazaka's actually doing in there. Why is he... I don't know, what reason does he have to view something so important? The castle's in the shelves had space wide enough for two people to stand side by side. Oh my God. Wow. I made my way through the passage and reached a small, quiet door at the end. There stood yet another security check. Oh my God, you really know this is just completely gated so that nobody, obviously, comes in and steals and obviously reveals or sells really important information. Yeah, I mean, it would probably be very unlikely they'd be able to do that, but some really, really high-skilled thieves, so maybe they could do it, I don't know. Let's do yet another security check. I undid the lock and opened the door leading to the 7th reference room. Oh, interesting, so yeah. And inside the room, off in one of the corners, stood a desk separated by shoulder-high positions. My office. I think that just really, really shows how bloody important the work Akasaka does is.
Akasaka 管理官。
Oh, Commissioner
おは
Akasaka.
ようございます。
Good morning, sir. A lone detective watching TV near the window noticed my entrance, stood up and saluted. It's been 1 year since I was promoted to police superintendent. Wow. I'm finally getting used to the title of commissioner. Wow. That's amazing. Good morning.
新見くん、一人か?
Are you alone, Nimi-kun?
ええ。関さんと川島さんは昨日、国会議事堂でのデモ隊の対応で午前様でしたからね。
Yeah, Seki-san and Kawashima-san were up late yesterday dealing with some demonstrators in front of the parliament building.
今日は午後1で出勤するそ
Oh,
う
they
です。
should be here around 1 o'clock.
相変わらず勤勉だ
Ah,
な。
they're diligent as ever, eh?
危険度も低い市民団体のようだから、特に警戒の必要はないって言ったのに。
Told them there shouldn't be any real need for security since it sounded like a low-risk citizens group.
まあ、総動員で追っていた例の超特大の山がばらけちゃってから、しばらく暇続きでしたからね。
Well, it's been some time since we've had full mobilization, not since the last major incident.
二人とも勘が鈍らないよう、とにかく体を動かしておきたいんだって言ってました。
The two of them says it would prevent their instincts from getting dull, and that it'll be good exercise. God, I wonder what the last major incident actually was.
あ、コーヒー入れます
I
か？
really like that excuse though. That is, I mean, if anything, they're making excuses to do work. It really is quite surprising that. Oh, can I get you some coffee? Yes, thanks.
頼むよ。
Detective Nimi filled a paper cup at the coffee machine by his desk and said, "Here you go," as he sat it on my desk. Wow, so you have a coffee machine on your desk. That's amazing. Sitting on my chair and taking a big gulp, I bitterly thought back on the incident Detective Nimi just mentioned. Yeah. We, the police, should have been overjoyed not to have any criminals that needed catching or crimes that needed trying. However, that case in particular was halted by an order from the top brass. In other words, some political influence made them decide to abandon the case before completion. I'm sure some political pressure was involved in the decision. Yeah, evidently some corrupt people were involved on the inside. I wonder if they're talking about the Hinamizawa Augustus. Nevertheless, taking into consideration the social pressures and disadvantages, the case was shelved. Oh my god. It's not like this was a first for me or anything, and I could understand the necessity to compromise in the interest of a national order. Yeah, still, the fact that the more pride we have in maintaining justice, the harder it is to accept these unreasonable circumstances. Oh yeah, fair. Anyway, Commissioner.
確か今日から休みだって言ってませんでしたか？
When are you planning to take a vacation starting today?
いや、休みは
Yeah,
取り
fair
消した。
enough. Yeah, no, I cancelled my vacation
休
plans.
暇中に行こうと予定していた場所が
Oh.
立ち入り
Oh
禁止にな
god,
っ
so
てしまっ
he
た
was
か
actually thinking of doing a vacation to Hinamizawa. I'd assume the place I was planning to visit on my vacation was declared off
立ち入り禁
limits.
止。
Off limits.
ああ、
Oh. Yeah, Detective Nimi quickly realised what I meant and turned his attention to the TV screen. Oh, wait, that's actually quite interesting. I would have thought the gas disaster would have happened on the 22nd. I'm quite surprised that, yeah, he had been watching some variety show with flashy announcers. Yeah, that's what I thought so. Oh, right. No, I was right. 3 days have passed since the sudden volcanic gas disaster struck Hinamizawa village. Yeah, I don't really think he's going to be able to go to this village now. Oh my god, could you imagine if he actually remembers Sidika? I wonder what he'll think. Though we have yet to receive. By the way, I really wonder if Miyuki... No, not Miyuki, sorry. Yumiko... I don't know, whatever Akasaka's wife is called. I can't believe I forgot this. But, yeah. I wonder if she's alive. Yukie, that's her name. Though we have yet to receive a follow-up report from the self-defense forces carrying out rescue activities, the state of the villagers is looking increasingly grim. Yeah. The newscaster divulged the details of this macabre reality. When I first heard the news earlier in the morning on June 22nd, everyone, myself included, felt too stunned to say anything. No, I don't blame him. But now that the 3 days had passed, I was able to watch a bit more calmly. Still, this is an unprecedented catastrophe. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Unlike anything since the end of the war. Jesus, I mean, I really get what they mean, honestly. I mean, when, since the war, would you have an entire town completely wiped out just because of a gas disaster that was massive as well, killing over 2,000? I mean, it's ridiculous. No, maybe not over 2,000, but near 2,000. Every TV station was reported progress in real time, organising special information releases every night. Yeah, you really can tell just how serious this is if they are under that much pressure to do stuff. Countless people were on screen were shouting, weeping, roaring, and oh god, yeah. Yeah, these are probably the residents of the next town over, Okinomiya. I wouldn't be surprised, yeah. Actually, the landscape behind them looked quite familiar. Oh.
ひどい話ですね。
Oh my god, yeah, definitely. No matter how many times I see it, it's still such a terrible story.
ポンペイか浅間山の映画を見せられて
Yeah, my god. I don't know about what Mount Asama is, but yeah, definitely Pompeii. Fair enough.
南沢村だけでおよそ
Yeah,
2000 人
there
が
are
暮ら
around
していたはず。
2,000 people living in Hinamizawa.
それが全員絶望なんだ。
No, I know.
も
Oh
は
my
や
god.
悲劇どころか悪夢としか言いようがない。
Their entire situation was entirely hopeless. It's no longer a tragedy, but a nightmare. And the thing that's even worse about this nightmare is it's just going to get worse. The results of the villagers and obviously the effects this gas disaster is going to have on everybody in Kakiuchi and, you know, individual people as well. It's just going to get worse and worse. It's like a tragedy that it's never going to end until, I don't know, until everyone in Hinamizawa has died in theory.
お偉方も上に下に大混乱です。
There's a huge mess for the big shots too. From
閣僚の
all the
非常
way
対策本部は救援の準備とか情報統制とかでてんてこまいだし、野党は現内閣の危機管理体制の怠慢を議会で追及するって息巻いてますね。
The Cabinet Emergency Response Headquarters is doing their best to provide relief and information control. So when they say relief and information control, I'm assuming relief is... I don't know, I've heard of a relief of a land, obviously the shape of the land, but I don't really know what relief would mean in this context. But the opposition parties are jumping at the chance to accuse the current cabinet's crisis management system of negligence. That is really unbelievable. So these people are, you know, trying to provide aid, provide, you know, information control, just trying to get as much as they can from the incident, I suppose, and obviously to, you know, begin finding out who the potential criminal could be. And yet, people of the opposing parties are using this as an opportunity for their own gain, even though potential lives could be at stake here. It's ridiculous.
未明に起こった大災害にしては政府はよくやったと思うんですが。
Yeah, I think the government did well handling a major disaster that struck at the crack of dawn. Yeah, I wonder why they handled it well. I guess the government's quick response shortly after the disaster struck was praiseworthy. Yeah. The end result was the worst possible scenario. Oh my god, I know. Total annihilation of the villagers. But in the face of natural disasters beyond human control, nothing more could have been done. Yeah, easily. It's sad to think, but it's true. Simply managing the chaos and riots in the surrounding area could be considered exemplary work. Yeah. Nonetheless, proving what Detective Nimi said, the opposition party members were on TV, rushing towards the microphone to vent their anger. Oh, right, they're blame-seeking escapists. Made them look like vultures growing fat from the unhappiness of others. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm actually really quite surprised that these people get a say on, the media. But, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, well, they say that a person's true value only appears during an emergency. Of course, that doesn't mean they could have done anything differently. Well, that's true, but... Oh, even so, it hurts that all I can do is just stand back and watch it like it's somebody else's problem. That's actually interesting. So was that the reason he felt inclined to begin investigating? I mean, I suppose nothing has really happened at this point, but, just getting into contact with the people that have ties to Hinamizawa, I suppose, is his first step. So what actually is information control? Oh, I'm not really getting much of a definition from the internet. It's kind of annoying. That's actually really quite interesting that they're noticing the government's quick strategy, but they've literally told the government know everything about the truth of this incident, funnily enough. I mean, to be fair, they don't know that obviously it was within Takano's best interests and obviously it was a complete terrorist attack, but yeah, at least... I suppose at least they responded quickly, I don't know. Because the thing is about the Mountain Dogs, what they did is they told the government that, Queen Carrier has died, all the village is going to go insane otherwise, if we don't kill them with gas. So, I suppose you could say that, they've just known about it in advance, they've probably been able to make advanced preparations. Before I knew it, my seething regret had me clenching my fist so tight that my nails began to dig in. God, he really does have quite a big regret, yeah. Come to think of it, the detectives who went out to respond to the demonstrators, Seki and Kawashima, had a strong sense of justice as well. Oh, right, wow. That's really quite good. That's why they wanted a distraction from their own powerlessness and went out on an assignment that had nothing to do with their record. Yeah.
Akasaka-kun!
Akasaka-kun. Oh, who's this? Huh? Just then I heard a call from behind and turned around. Is this... Oh! Damn! saw Kano-san standing there. Another commissioner like me, but with more
お
experience.
はようございます。
Good morning,
カノさん。
Kano-san.
おはよ
Good morning.
う。なあ、ニミ君、コーヒーはいいよ。
Nimi-kun, some coffee would be nice.
すぐに移動するから。
And he's allowed to. The detective Ninimi immediately rose to his feet. Kano-san let out a gentle smile to inform him there was no need for formalities. Yeah. Sounds like a nice boss, I suppose. He was my senior and I've relied on him for the past 5 years since I was assigned to the Public Safety Security Division. Wow. That's actually really quite surprising that they have that connection. I mean, God. Yeah, the fact that they are the same rank is just really quite nuts. He and I are the same rank, but he has an extensive educational background and a diverse history of a network of personal connections. Alright, plus his solid character and long history of achievements are well recognised. Oh, he likely has a future as the successor of Director Kataoka. Who is that? Is that some sort of really iconic police figure? Nah, I don't really get anything. Oh, I thought that was some international figure that we were going to be able to find out about, but I'm assuming Director Kataoka is maybe... I don't know what the role of a director would be fully in the policing world. I mean, could it be like the director of the entire police station? Or could it be the director of, I don't know, just the policing stations, the management of policing stations as a whole throughout Japan? I wonder.
Oh, I heard you were off today, but this is perfect. Oh, there's something I'd like to discuss. Do you have a moment? God, this is actually really quite surprising. I mean, you know something serious has happened if Akazaka is going to have to discuss, you know, police matters with a person with a rank as high as this. Oh, of course. Right, I really wonder what they're going to... After we made our way into the empty conference room, Kano-san locked the door behind us. I could easily tell from his facial expression and demeanour how serious the topic he was about to discuss. Oh yeah, definitely. I really wonder if they're going to talk about the potential corruption that's gone on with the gas disaster. Sorry for bringing this up so early. Are you good on time? Yeah, no problem. So what's this about? Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, well... Oh god. Kano-san's eyes wandered as he tried to find the right words, then he sat down and lit a cigarette. Following his example, I took a seat and turned towards him, waiting for him to speak. The silence continued for a while longer. Oh god. Yeah, how strange. Is it really that difficult to talk about? I mean, my god, it must be something really quite bad. Right after I wondered that, Kano-san crossed the butt of a cigarette in the ashtray and began to speak. I'd like to keep this between us. Oh, right. Oh, Chief Cabinet Secretary Okino allegedly collapsed this meeting. What? I thought I'd mentally prepared myself, but I couldn't help but gasp. Yeah, god, fair. The news he provided was just too shocking and unexpected. Yeah, is this condition serious?
Oh my god. Oh shit, hang on a second. I thought that this said meeting. So I thought he collapsed this meeting. So as a result, maybe somebody higher up has objected to this meeting, whatever they're going to talk about happening. Oh my god. Oh, that's awful. God. That must be really quite awful. So I wonder why he's actually collapsed. God. Maybe he's just... Maybe it's some sort of health problem that he has. Or could potentially be surroundings being so stressful or lack of sleep. I don't know. There are a lot of causes. God.
すぐに病院に運び込まれたが、現在絶対安静とのことだ。夕方には病状が発表される予定で、数日以内の辞任はほぼ確実らしい。
Details of this condition are scheduled to be announced this evening. Resignation seems all but certain in the future. Oh god, that's bad. So I'm assuming this guy, chief cabinet person, chief cabinet secretary, that is a really high rank, I'd assume. I mean, I'd assume the people in the police cabinet related things are probably really at the top of the police ranking system. This is so sudden. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. I couldn't think of anything else to say. I sighed and looked up to the ceiling. The fluorescent lamp was shining erratically, nearing the end of its life. Secretary Okono was a leading authority in the largest faction of the current ruling... Oh my god! Holy fuck, that's big. Jesus Christ. In fact, this, fatigues occupied an important place in the present cabinet. Oh, what is a fatigue? Never heard of this before. Person who was guided or supported by an older or more experienced or influential person. Doesn't really sound like it fit the context, but... Oh wait, no, of course it does, yeah. So fatigue is the person that's... Yeah, so the person that's guided, not the person who does the guiding, yeah. That was testament to his influential voice and his tremendous influence on the cabinet. Yeah. Also, as a former employee of the Defense Agency, he'd work non-stop day after day to manage the task force and hold press conferences in the wake of recent disaster. Oh, could his overwork have taken its toll? Yeah, I really wonder if he actually was a person who, did conferences about the Venezuela gas disaster. So who is going to take his place?
やはり子飼いの梨本副長官ですかね。
I'd assume it's Protege, Deputy Secretary Nashimoto.
いや、近いところに聞いた話だと、梨本氏も同時に辞任するらしい。
No, I've heard from a close source that Nashimoto is going to resign at the same time.
後任は今のところ、大谷副長官の昇格で調整している。
The plan seems to promote Deputy Secretary Otani.
大谷副長官。
Deputy Secretary Otani, huh? That's another surprising bit of information. Nashimoto was Secretary Okuno's right-hand man, and his experience and accomplishments were more than worthy of the title of Cabinet Secretary. Yeah, that is actually really quite surprising that he isn't, the person that has been right for it. But I suppose, he would have been, but he's leaving, so...
確か大谷氏は奥野派じゃなく今村派の議員だったかと思いますが、よく通りましたね。
However, I thought Otani was more of an Himamura faction supporter, not an Okino supporter. I'm surprised they're going through with it.
誰も反対しなかったんですか?
Did nobody raise an objection?
まあ、若干の懸念を主張するのもいただ基本的には満場一致だな。
The decision was practically unanimous.
信じられない。
Yeah, that's actually really quite surprising. So you have people with that are literally in opposite factions that are going to run, in a fraction where somebody has lost their title just because, you know, of a really bad injury. Jeez. I mean, God, that is actually really quite surprising if the injury actually happened because of him completely overworking himself. I mean, fucking hell. Chief Cabinet Secretary Okuno and former Foreign Minister Imamada. Foreign Minister, wow, that is a big title. Had drastically different policies. Oh, especially in foreign affairs. Even though they were members of the same party, they infamously fought like cats and dogs. And yet they're now coming together. That could potentially mean some sort of, I don't know, some sort of reduction in the conflict that is happening. There was some strong speculation that Secretary Okuno used his deep ties to the Prime Minister to have Imamada dismissed as Foreign Minister. Interesting. And their feud extended to the lawmakers working under them, so I don't think Secretary Okuno would so easily agree to having a political rival as its successor, even in an emergency.
それに
Yeah.
千葉厚生大臣も黙ってはいないでしょう。
Yeah, that is actually really quite surprising though. I mean, yeah, definitely not. I can't imagine Minister of Health and Welfare Chiba stays silent.
確か彼は奥野長官とは盟友関係にあったはずで
He
す。
was always a close ally of Secretary Okuno.
敵対の派閥に渡すくらいなら、自分の派閥の誰かにそのポストを要求してもおかしくないと思いますが。
I think it would be a much more natural demand to demand the post to be assigned from somebody from the same faction. Yeah, it's actually really quite surprising that. True.
それでも党内ではさしたる反対もなく、すんなりと人事が進んでいるらしい。
Nevertheless, the party expressed very little opposition and the appointment is progressing smoothly.
だからこそ余計に異様さが目立っているんだね。
So suspicious.
しかし、それ以上に変なのは奥野長官だ。
Even more peculiar with Secretary Okuno.
入院したのはいいが、病名が不明でね。
He was hospitalized, but we don't know what for. I thought it was for
また、
collapsing.
過労で絶対安静という割には、派閥の議員たちが秘密に病院を往
Yeah,
来
I
して
kind
い
of
る。
get the impression that there is some sort of con that's going on. I really wonder what it could be. Also, for somebody bedridden from overwork, he sure has a lot of his faction members secretly going in and out of the hospital. Then it was definitely suspicious. As if these were just standard hospital visits, there would be no need to keep them secret. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, why would it be secret? Huh? That's a little bit weird. What's more, he called his protege. I mean, to be fair, that could be justified just because, you know, him wanting to have some comfort with friends. I don't know, but I don't really think that applies here. Maybe this illness is just a fast to prevent the information leaking to the media. Oh, interesting. That's actually quite interesting about you know, political rival being the successor. Kono-san pensively looked down while lighting a second cigarette. Just as he said, Secretary Okuno was acting suspicious for somebody who'd supposedly been suddenly hospitalized. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, could there be something behind Secretary Okuno's resignation? Don't know. However, it seems more prudent to think there is rather than isn't. Or maybe there was. Yeah. 奇妙な組織がいくつも紐付きでぶら下がっているようだから、明日から私は室長の命令で奥の派の動向について監視を行うことになった。So starting tomorrow, the director has ordered me to monitor the activities of the Okuno faction. That is actually really quite nuts. So this director person that, you know, Akazaka could potentially be becoming is a person that I'm assuming just from this that they have a real say in politics that could potentially influence the entire country. I mean, if that is not massive, then I don't know what is. It's actually really quite odd that no parties express opposition. That just makes zero sense. That's opposite. That is the entire opposite of what we would have ever expected. So I really wonder how this illness would actually be a way to prevent information from leaking to the media. I suppose it would just be they'd be able to discuss means of, you know, silencing this information, having it so that nothing is leaked past, you know, their knowledge. I see. At last I was beginning to grasp the situation. In other words, Kono-san needed my team to monitor the Okuno and Chiba or Imamada party leads. Yeah, interesting. So I really wonder how this relates to, you know, the case that's happened that Akasaka's investigated in the July of 1983 that we saw yesterday. I'll get my men together immediately. Also, oh yeah, you really think it was going to be, you really thought it was going to be that simple? Is there going to be more? Oh, not so fast. If that's what this was about, Director Kataoka would be the one giving the order, not me. My God. What I ask of you is actually something else, strictly top secret. Huh? That is really quite surprising. After saying that, Kono-san pulled a document from his breast pocket and spread it out in front of him. It contained a list of names for about 20 companies and organisations, with something written next to them. What is this? Oh, I wonder if this could potentially be... a list of political contributions to Secretary Okuno's last election. Does the name on the bottom look familiar? Oh! Oh my God! Oh shit! I didn't scan the list and open my eyes wide when I saw a specific name. What? That is so funny. I was 100% convinced that was going to be the EDA clinic. What? Oh, that's a... Well, not EDA clinic, but Tokyo. But, like, still! The name Sonozaki was the name of the 3 families governing Hinamizawa village who left the village in the anti-dam protest campaign. That is actually really quite surprising. I wonder why. Why did the Sonozaki family donate to Secretary Okuno? I don't know. Yeah, that's weird.
5年前のダム建設反対運動で何らかの斡旋を受けた様子も見当たらない。
That's actually really quite funny because I've never known this before. Wow, they don't live anywhere near Secretary Okuno, and he never did anything in support of the anti-dam movement from 5 years ago.
また、それ以上奇妙な噂は災害だよ。
Oh god, we are really getting into deep shit here. So it's actually interesting that they're linking this to the disaster.
The
one happened in Hinamizawa. Huh? The conversation had suddenly shifted in a strange and unexpected direction. Oh yeah, definitely. Like, how could you relate just some sort of weird factional debates and obviously factional changes about, you know, somebody, I suppose, stepping down and obviously other people of really weird origins taking their place? Yeah, I just really wonder how. It's just kind of funny that that has shifted to this, but at the same time, it's really quite funny. Whenever we hear anything about faction-related things, you know it's going to be either related to Tokyo or related to the gas disaster at this point. It was on the TV just a moment ago, the Great Hinamizawa gas disaster. Volcanic gas burst from Onigafti swamp and into the village late at night. The death toll was over 2,000 villagers. Even 3 days after the incident, the Hinamizawa area remained completely blockaded. Rumours and misinformation spread across the country and people were stricken with a terrible fear of the unknown. Oh my god, yeah, fair enough, yeah. The cause of the gas release still remains a total mystery. Yeah, I really wonder if they're actually going to be able to find the cause here. Since there were no warning signs, finding the cause had been proven extremely difficult. Yeah, definitely, yeah. 5 years... Oh... Yeah, 5 years ago, I was investigating the kidnapping of the Minister of Construction's grandson. I spent some time in Hinamizawa village as part of the investigation, and while I was there, I met a strange girl named Hidedeka. Akasaka. Oh my god, I really love just sort of the echoing. Yeah, go back to Tokyo. Oh, I really wonder if he's actually going to... Yeah, there's nothing that can be done. And he is realizing that she has completely predicted everything. Ridiculous as it sounds, it happened. Back then, she made this mysterious prophecy to me with an innocent smile on her face. Every subsequent year, a murder will occur in Hinamizawa on the night of the festival, and my wife will die in an accident. It was also ominous. Hang on a second, so was this, like, genuinely true? Oh no. And so frightening, and frighteningly. Oh god, that's horrible! And frighteningly, all her predictions eventually came. Oh my god, poor man. Hidedeka. I'll never forget her. That is actually fair enough. I mean, I wonder if this great disaster claimed her life as well. Oh my god. Wait until he... I mean, I don't really know if he will find out, just because every record of Hinamizawa and what's actually happened there could potentially be completely fucked now. I mean, obviously he would if he dug into Tokyo, but yeah, I don't really get the impression that had happened. Yeah, but god, it definitely did. That disaster. Yeah, well, the village was destroyed overnight, that's the one. Of course he knows which one it is. Connell-san's voice pulled me back to reality. Yeah, fair. And then he revealed to me some astonishing information. Actually, regarding that incident. The government had predicted it beforehand. Detail down to the date and time. Oh, that's actually really interesting. They don't really know that anybody could actually be behind this, and this may not be like a natural event. Could you imagine what, in terms of like political scandal it would cause if the government have had really secretive information about the exploding of an entire town due to really harmful gas, and yet they've not told any of the residents to migrate? I mean, I can't imagine how much of a scandal that would have. But I mean, obviously that hasn't been the case here, but it really could look like the case. That's my point. It really could. Huh? Predicted the disaster. Yeah, it's weird. Is there any truth to the story? Oh yes, there is. Yeah. Okay, that is actually really quite surprising. I mean, I would have thought they'd have things that would be able to. I mean, because if let's just say it was a natural disaster, I would have thought geographical kit that would actually determine. I mean, what would actually? I suppose with volcanoes, how would volcanoes be predicted? I forgot that. How are volcanoes predicted? Let's learn. Yeah, here we are. Oh, seismographs. Ground deformation? Dimensions that accompanies the rise of magma. Volcanic gas emissions. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Changes in gravity and magnetic field. Interesting. That's actually really quite surprising, though. I mean, yeah. I don't know their methods. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really have to be from a volcano. I mean, that is whenever you hear like massive amounts of gas that would erupt and potentially kill people. I just always think of a volcano, but no, definitely not in this case. I don't know their methods. Yeah, I'm not a geologist. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. However, the relief efforts began far too quickly. Oh, that's actually quite interesting. That is really interesting, though. Yeah, because they're really starting to get into the territory of what if this was not a real disaster. Plus, it seems that there were several lead members of the rescue team who received orders from their superiors to cancel the vacation plans just the day before. What? Yeah, particularly specialised technicians. Many of them were veterans who could handle even unprecedented situations. Could that be evidence that this wasn't an unexpected disaster like a fire or an earthquake, but something that was anticipated? Yep. But even so. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If this is known in advance, then that means they allowed all the unsuspecting villagers to die. Exactly. 2,000 total casualties, right? Yeah, definitely, yeah, because of Kageboushi, for example, and all the other places where people from Hinamiza are actually present in, and still growing, I've heard. Yeah. If that's the case, then does that mean that this wasn't a natural disaster but something man-made? Yes, they would. There's no doubt they'd never allow something like fair. Oh my god, he probably can't go to Cross just because of how secret this room is. Nobody can be hearing what they're discussing. Sorry. Oh god, that must have been really quite embarrassing. But yeah. God, it really is quite interesting, right? That's actually really quite odd. I mean, obviously they could have loosely predicted it. No, they couldn't have loosely predicted it, but the fact that they've not only predicted something that they don't have the technology to predict, and they've predicted it to the exact day and time, yeah, someone doesn't really make much sense. I gotta get the impression that if I was in Akasaka's position, I think the second I heard that, I would have just thought, right, there is no way this can be, you know, genuinely a natural disaster. But at the same time, it just seems so unlikely that it's a man-made disaster that, of course, we're going to feel reluctant to believe in it. In this conclusion. That's actually really quite interesting. So I wonder if by trying to make, you know, obviously making sure that all of the people, even if they were going to go on vacation, had to be there, getting as much rescue and as much aid as quickly as possible, that's going to make the government look good, I'd assume. They have good tactics, to be fair, but yeah, they're not very ethical. Because you really said that's unethical, though, because I suppose they're just taking advantage of the situation that they've actually been presented in. But at the same time, you could think of that as unethical, I suppose. But it doesn't really break many laws doing stuff like that, I'd assume. Like, obviously, just planning to get as many of many people in the rescue team as possible. If they were the people that actually caused the disaster to happen, then of course that would be awful. You could never justify that. Oh my fucking god. Kono-san calmly stood up, then opened the door a crack to peek outside. Even though we were in a locked room, there was always a chance that noise could leak out. Oh yeah, fair enough, yeah. Fortunately, he was able to verify that nobody was in the hallway, so we continued speaking in a hushed tone. God, you know things are really confidential. If you restricting what your conversation is saying to you know, obviously the people that are only the people that are involved in the conversation, but if you're restricting the conversation so that not even the people with the highest ranks of the police force can hear this, I mean, it's insane. Yeah, definitely, yeah. As you say, if that were true, it would be a huge scandal. Yeah. Oh yeah, easily. Yeah. The nation. Far bigger than the Chief of Cabinet Security's resignation, it wouldn't just ruin the credibility of the cabinet members, it would turn the backbone of the nation upside down. Yeah, so there's a possibility that Secretary Okuno's hospitalization and resignation were a last resort to bury that dark truth forever. Even so, why do such a thing? No, I know. Yeah, but the only thing is that is how they're going to have to find out, I suppose. But the timing is just too perfect.
予知が可能だったと噂が出たのはその数日後。
A few days after an unprecedented disaster occurred, rumors started to fly. The whole affair was known in advance.
そしてその翌日には官房長官が入院。
Yeah, that's actually really quite interesting that. And then the following day, the chief of cabinet secretary was suddenly in the hospital.
つまりあの災害はいわゆる人災で。
In other words, they were predicted the disaster because it was man-made.
憶測の域を出ないが。
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I don't want to go too far into speculation, but when you think about it that way, the pieces seem to fit together.
状況から判断すると、野党側の追及を避けるために奥の長官が事件の幕引きを図った可能性は否定できなくなる。
That's actually quite interesting. If Okuno's not in power, then how is he going to be able to have any allegations? I mean, to be fair, he still can't get in prison for what he's done in power, but yeah. It's not going to be as bad. Judging by the situation, you can't deny the possibility that Secretary Okuno tried to sweep the incident under the rug to avoid allegations from opposing parties. I see. In other words, could there be a political conflict behind all of this? Yep. Oh my god. This could potentially be the first step that really, really could destroy this. Yep. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah, yeah. A secret that, if exposed, could ruin the political careers of many party leaders. If that was the source of all this, it would be a huge scandal. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the gravity of the matter had me sweating profusely across my entire body. No, I don't blame him. I mean, it's just so fucking big, this. It really is. I mean, just the effects that actually finding out the truth could actually have. I mean, obviously you are going to want to find out the truth because I suppose finding out the truth of an incident like this, you know, it is firstly morally right thing to do, finding out why so many people have had their lives taken away, and also just because justice needs to be done. But at the same time, that truth will cause a lot of shit. So much so that the nation might completely crumble. I mean, God. In that case, what do you need from me? Oh, interesting. So this is probably... You've been to Hinamizawa before, haven't you? Do you remember it well? Yes, of course. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Yeah. I'll have others look into the info about the government predicting the disaster. Oh, good one. Oh, we need to gather information on the involvement of Hinamizawa. Yeah. Interesting. Had Hinamizawa ever experienced a gas like this in the past? No, never. No way. To be fair, like basically 1,000 years ago, it's burnt twice within 20-year periods, but I don't know. Were there any other incidents or accidents that seem related to the gas disaster? No way. I couldn't think of anything whatsoever. And was there something behind this gas disaster or not? Yep. Just learning that much didn't seem like an unreasonable goal. Yeah, you really think... I mean, to be honest, I agree, but at the same time, I think because he can't actually access the village and he has no possible way he can find evidence, yeah, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Yeah, unfortunately, Hinamizawa is now a restricted area, and now all of the residents are passed away. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Even if I asked around, I had little hope of uncovering any new information. Yeah, I agree. Also, look at a second. So when he was, you know, obviously investigating with Oishi and Tomoe, was he disrespecting orders? What? Me alone? Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that's actually fair enough. But the thing is, Akasaka, he's not only going to do a brilliant job, but yeah, he is trustworthy as well. It pains me to say this, but there are very few investigators I can trust this matter with. You understand the reason, right? It's probably... Is it just because of the effects it has if... obviously everything could be found out and the confidentiality of it as well. Gono-san glanced at me with a bitter expression. He was probably referring to those large-scale allegations that our group were together on the other day. Oh, yeah, it was an unusual story. There was certainly a strong political influence, so I could understand why the higher-ups ordered the investigation to be suspended. Yeah. However, given the wealth of evidence we collected and the high probability of success, the higher-ups never provided an explanation for why they had that order. Oh. Yeah, that's actually really quite interesting. Thanks to that all-to-purpose... Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. I think you could definitely describe it like that. It really is just too coincidental. Yeah, Kono-san and I had developed a suspicion that somebody on the inside was possibly leaking our investigation data. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's actually really quite interesting because the person that could potentially be leaking the investigation data, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a connection to the mountain dogs. Or maybe it could just be some sort of person that is working within Tokyo. There are a lot of people that could potentially fit into this category because a lot of people here. To be fair, hang on a second. I'm thinking about Okinomiya's police station. No, this is, you know, in Tokyo. Of course, they're not going to have people there, but at the same time, they are going to have people that could be spies for really high up political people as well. So, yeah. Same logic applies, I suppose. And after that previous case, I can't be certain who my old colleagues are connected with. Yeah, definitely, yeah. What about you and your colleagues? Oh, I wonder. No, I'm ashamed to say the same. Oh, God, that's really quite annoying, yeah. God, you know, things could potentially be serious if they're having, you know... That's actually really quite interesting that they have a response that's all just too quick. Yeah. I really wonder if the information they've actually discovered beforehand in the previous case was actually relevant to the gas disaster and all of the Tokyo-related things that happened there. Who knows? I figured as much. Oh yeah, fair enough. I mean, even the most trustworthy colleague, could you really trust him? If anything, maybe he could be trying to be trustworthy to you so that you say as much information as possible. Who knows? That's why I'm asking you, Akazaka-kun.
火球に関わっている山はないみた
Oh
い
yeah,
だし
yeah,
ね
definitely. Yeah, it looks like your plate just cleared off of any urgent cases too.
それも
Yeah.
例の件がな
Yeah,
くなっ
that
た
is
せい
fair
なん
enough
で
though.
す
That's also because of the case being suspended though. Oh.
それはお互い様だよ
The same goes
そ
for
れ
me.
に一度とはいえ
Oh, yeah,
南
yeah,
沢の
fair
地に
enough,
足
yeah.
を踏み入れたことのある
Yeah,
君なら
definitely. He's definitely going to know his way
そこいらの捜査員
around
より
and
も
he is going to
勘
know.
とか人脈とかがあるんじゃないか
I suppose he's just going to have more significance and he's actually going to know where places that are key to this investigation, like Onigafji Swamp, actually are. I suppose he's really going to be able to have more of a comparison of, like, you know, the before and after of Hinamizawa as well, if he actually goes near there. Besides, you've been to Hinamizawa before, so you've probably had better intuition and more personal connection than any other investigator, right?
加納さんにそう言って信頼してもらえるのは
Kono-san,
光栄なんです
I
が
wanted to hear that you have such faith in me, but even though he mentioned my intuition and personal connections, 5 years had passed since that. Yeah, interesting. Even if I try to gather information, I wouldn't be able to get anywhere without cooperation from the locals. That is fair enough. I mean, to be fair, the person that's probably closest to the locals that you can actually ask for help is Oishi at this point. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's remembering. I immediately thought of Detective Oishi. That's right, he was the old detective from Okinomiya Station I worked on with a case from 5 years ago. He might be able to provide some assistance. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, he's a really good place to go
し
to.
かし
But would that be alright?
大丈夫だろうか
My only concern was whether or not he was caught up in the disaster. Oh my god, that is actually fair enough. I suppose he should just have, you know, wild moment of truth, see if he's alright, and then take it from there, I suppose. Although he was from a neighbouring town, I couldn't deny the possibility that he would try to help the villagers during a disaster. Oh yeah, definitely, I couldn't agree more. But at the same time, it was all because of, you know, Kumagai. Wait, no, hang on a second, that wasn't this story, that was Omitsushi. I don't know about this story, but yeah, we obviously know that Oishi's alive, but it could be likely that he was dead, because I know in Omitsushi that Kumagai was actually going to take his place. He was doing something else, whereas Kumagai was the person that went in his place to, you know, go investigate Hinamizawa, go investigate the potential things that may be happening there, and then died. He would have died as well, Oishi would have, but no, he hasn't this time, so that probably means he's the only one left out of him and Kumagai, which is really quite a shame, but... Of course, I didn't want to suspect the worst, but oh yeah, fair enough. I mean, you kind of have to in a
こ
situation
ちら
like
から
this.
の
It's
付
only
きは極力
realistic.
控えるが見込みがありそうだったら連絡してくれたまえ
Oh yeah, yeah. I did my best to avoid poking around, but please contact me if things are heading in good
それ
direction.
以外は何か気になることがあった時
Aside
に
from
報
that, just
告し
report
て
in
くれ
when you
るだ
find
けで
something
いい
important.
留守中の代理は誰かいる
Do you have anyone who can fill you in for your absence?
そうですね
Oh,
川島君に
I'll
頼み
go
ます
in with Kawashima.
彼なら口も硬いし
Oh yeah,
信
that's
頼でき
good.
ます
Yeah, he has a stiff upper lip, and I think we can trust him. Yeah.
雲をつかむような話で申し訳ないがやってもらいたい
Yeah, well, it's actually fair enough that he's apologising for, you know, a little bit of an unreasonable investigation. I mean, it's just really quite impossible. You have a really demanding and potentially, you know, an investigation that you would have to tear so much apart to actually find the answers. And yet you can't even have access to, you know, the one place that, you know, the answers lie at the crime scene. I mean, they do lie in the crime scene. If you, sorry, the crime scene is in Hinamizawa entirely, if you go far enough, I suppose. Because then you go into a clinic, the clinic and then you realise it's secret links, and then, you know, you can just work from there, I suppose.
頼んだよ
I'm counting on you. Oh yeah, you know this is serious when even your boss is counting on you. Yeah, understood. After that exchange, Kono-san gave me a pat on the shoulder and walked out of the room. As I started walking to the door, my memories began flowing back up to me. Oh yeah, he's probably remembering about Hinamizawa. Yeah, we get that really quite dark music. I really like this music. To be honest, all of these soundtracks are good. I just wish there were more, because you hear a lot of the same soundtracks really quite frequently. Returning to my office, I fell back into my seat and took a deep breath. I never thought I'd be involved with Hinamizawa again. Yeah, fair. It felt like fate had tied me to Hinamizawa. That's actually quite funny, that. 5 years ago, right before I lost my... Oh my god, yeah, I know, that's just really quite shocking hearing that he has actually lost his wife in this story. But yeah... Yeah! You should definitely go back to Tokyo right away. If not, you will woefully regret it. Back then, Hooded car certainly did give me that warning. Yeah. And then I found out on the following day that my wife had died. I was overwhelmed with regret, just as she predicted. Oh my god, I know. Even now it's a memory that haunts me. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, the fact that it is just really quite odd that this has been the thing that has been predicted. I mean, it could be like a really... Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, it could be a coincidence. It could be likely that maybe this was a coincidence, this event here. But the fact that she predicted the gas disasters, I mean, that would require... Not gas disasters, sorry. Series of deaths that happened. Oh my god. That would be... I don't even know. That would be so low that you couldn't even put a number to it, I bet. But what was even more frightening was that it would continue to happen every year. Yeah. I was still worried about her prophecies even after returning to Tokyo. So when I had free time, I would spend it looking into Hinamizawa. Oh my god, wow. God, that is actually fair enough, yeah. Yeah, my wife's death wasn't the only one she predicted 5 years ago. Yep. In June 1979, the dam construction foreman would become the victim of the dismemberment murder. The following year, June 1980, 2 victims would fall to their deaths. And the following year, June 1981, the priest of the Hooded family would die and the wife would go missing. Then in June 1982, another person was being there. Another person! Satoshi, bro! And obviously... No, hang on a second, Satoshi's aren't. It was done by Satoshi. Yeah, and then in June the following year, Hooded Edika would die. All of her predictions came true. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, fair enough. Last June, my spine was completely frozen over as I looked over at the accuracy rate. And June 1983 is this year, of course. Yep, I still haven't confirmed the death of Hooded Edika. Oh, I think it's definitely going to be negative, though. I mean, why would it not be anything but negative? I really would have found it interesting if there was one time where Edika actually survived past the gas disaster. But at the same time, that's not possible. She has to die for the gas disaster to happen. So, yeah. Yeah, however, an unprecedented gas disaster struck the village just days ago and the prospects looked grim. Yeah, definitely, yeah. I don't understand why her predictions came true. Yeah, but they did, yeah. But after hearing her prophecies 5 years ago, I began to grow deeply concerned for Hinamizawa. That's actually fair enough. I'm really quite surprised that he didn't try and help beforehand, like before June happened. And so it seems like fate that I should be involved with Hinamizawa again. Yeah, fair. Back then was Hooded Edika. There. Back then was Hooded Edika asking me to change the future. Yeah. In the end, I was astonished to learn that it happened every year. Yeah. I did nothing except sit idly, but no, I know. And as a result, did I allow the gas disaster to occur and claim Hooded Edika's life? Yeah. I mean, God, he is going to have to live with that for the entirety now, but it is true. Oh yeah, fair enough. Thinking of it that way, the feelings of guilt came rushing back to me. Akasaka-san, you have a phone call. Oh, it's extension number 8. I definitely have a lot of idea of what that is.
あ、
Oh, okay. So I wonder what this phone call is actually going to be. The detective Nimi's voice brought me back to my senses, and I picked up the receiver. And as I pushed the 8 button, the person waiting for me on the other end was... Wait, you've got to be kidding me. What? How does he know? What? That is so weird. Greetings, it's been a long time. Hang on a second, so was this because Oishi had actually contacted Akazaka about the gas disaster, or was it because Kano had actually put him forward? Hearing that voice for the first time in years brought me back memories. Oh my god, 5 years, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, this is Oishi from the Okinomiya station. Does you remember me?
Oishi-san?
Oishi-san? I felt a sense of relief as I heard that booming laughter on the other side of the receiver and quickly moved the receiver away from my ear. Fair enough. Right. That's actually really quite funny. If you can hear anything about Oishi, it's his laugh. I wonder if you remember me. Oh yeah, Oishi was definitely one of the most big people in terms of Akazaka's development as a police officer. I mean, of course he's going to remember him. Of course I remember, so you're alright. Oh, thank goodness. Oh my god, that must have been such a relief. That really must have been a relief. Just to hear his voice on the phone. Holy fuck, that must have been just... Oh, his heart must be beating so fast. Just having that amazing revelation that he's not dead. Oh yeah, seeing everything on TV had me really worried, you know. Oh really? Oh, no, I'm sorry if I made you worry. Yeah. Fair. No, I was sure you'd be safe, Oishi-san. No, you weren't. But more than that, why are you calling so suddenly? Yeah, I really wonder why he is actually. Is there anything you need? I wonder if he's maybe noticed anything abnormal about the Hinamizawa related things that he could maybe do some assistance with. Or maybe it could be likely that he's actually needing to investigate the death of Otaka's... No, wait, no, that wouldn't work. Because Otaka's... Why am I saying Otaka? I mean Hatakeyama. Why did I say Otaka? I mean Hatakeyama family. That happened in... That deed of the, murder of the entire family happened in mid-July, if I remember correctly, though. Well, you see... What? Hang on a second, what? Actually, I'm heading to Tokyo right now. Do you have some free time later today, Akazaka? That's actually really quite funny, because while he's heading to Tokyo, Akazaka's going to be heading to Hinamizawa literally the second that happens. Oh, yeah, I know! yeah, fair enough. What impeccable timing. I felt the hand of fate at work again. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, I have something I want to discuss with you too. That's interesting, so he's not actually going to... I suppose he's probably going to propose to him that maybe Hinamizawa might be the best place for them to go together, or maybe Okinawa. But I really do wonder if they are actually going to explore the Hinamizawa that's been completely destroyed by the gas someday. Especially if it's really close to the gas disaster, I wonder how that would be. Oh, that's perfect. Well then, I'll let you go when I get there. Oh, that's cool. Another person related to Hinamizawa is drawn to me. Yeah, no, I get what he means. I feel like it feels like it's my destiny to uncover the truth for Hinamizawa. Yeah, interesting that. Oh, yo, so we're actually going to see the conversation. Oh, that's nice. Hello, Akazaka-san. Oh, you haven't changed it a bit. Oh my god, yeah, fair enough. No, I'm still moving along. Oh, that's nice. You seem to be doing pretty well yourself, Oishi-san. Look like you've gotten a little more reliable. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, at least he's being really punctual, showing up to their, I don't really want to say, I don't know, just appointed talking time. He's getting there on time. He's obviously reliable. Much better with flattery. It's actually really quite interesting that he just has so many coincidences that, you know, really just make it seem as if, you know, this is what people want him to do. This is what, I don't know, just luck and fate-related things want him to do. I mean, it is really quite funny to think that he's actually realistically able to think this. yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I'm being serious here. Happy to hear that. That's actually really quite funny. You didn't even take it as genuine. It's been a while since I last saw Oisan, but he hasn't changed a bit. I'm glad. Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, he wouldn't. No way. This is our first meeting in 5 years, so we had a lot to talk about. Oh yeah, definitely, guys. So we talked for a while and shared stories of glory and bravery, but we wouldn't go on like that forever. So once Oisan's iced coffee ran out, he called a nearby waitress. Then he ordered 2 more glasses. Oh yeah, of course. After the waitress dropped them off and walked away, I took the opportunity to cut in. Yeah, fair enough.
大石さんがはるばる東京までいらっしゃった理由は
So why did you come all the way to Tokyo, Oisan?
まあ最初にこれを見てもらえませんか
Well, first, could you take a look at this? After saying that, Oisan slid me a pile of documents. It was the list of victims from the Great Hinamizawa
今回の大災害
Oh, yeah, please
お悔やみ申し上げます
for this terrible disaster. So I obviously don't think that this is going to be covered here. I wonder what the significance of this actually is. As I received the list, I lowered my head. Oisan stayed silent and just shook his head to let me know no concern was necessary. Yeah, he probably knew that a lot of people were passed on. Yeah, that thought brought an ache to my chest. Yeah, I don't blame
それ
him.
は亡くなった村人のリ
This
ス
is
ト
the
です
list of villagers who died.
行方不明者も入ってますから正確なものではありませんけどね
There also were some people who were still missing, so it's not an exhaustive list. Oh my god. Oh god, yeah, finding the name of Dika. Oh yeah, stunning. I stared down on the list ready to devour it. Carefully looking through it, I let out an exasperated sigh once I found the name I was looking
やは
for.
りダメだったのか
It was all useless after all. Yep.
赤坂さん誰かご存知の
Akasaka-san,
方
was
で
there someone you knew?
あいえ
Oh no.
これはもう
Has this
確定
information
の
already
情
been
報です
confirmed?
か
Hang on a second, so he's not actually, he's just brushing off the fact that he knows Idika and all the predictions have actually happened. I mean, I suppose they have happened, but at the same time, were they really too relevant at the moment? Were they really as relevant as anything else could be? Yes.
沖宮に派遣された救護隊員から内々に渡してもらったものですから。
I reviewed the list the second time instead of the line where the name Hudedika was listed. Oh god. Yeah, fair. Since the moment I heard about the catastrophe, I was prepared for this. Nevertheless, in the depths of my heart, I still believed in miracles and that Oh, yeah, and that only made my grief even worse. That's actually fair enough, yeah.
こんな大惨事が昭和のこんな時代になって起こる。
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more. And especially because you have all of the people that, you know, even though it's a modern era, that means that the possibility of this happening is so unlikely. But at the same time, you have the people that are behind this. You know, they're just more evil than they have ever been before, honestly. The notion that a disaster like this could happen in even the modern era is absolutely heartbreaking. Yeah, absolutely.
ですが、赤坂さん。それより今回のひなみ沢大災害には、いろいろと
That's actually really quite interesting. I mean, obviously, Akazaka can't discuss all of his because of how confidential it is, but at the same time, yeah, I really wonder what they're going to talk about. Yeah. Huh? Things that don't sit right. That's actually really quite surprising. Oishi has said it because obviously he wouldn't have much link to, you know, really political related things. Didn't Oishi say that? I recall what Kano-san and I discussed earlier.
実はあの事件、政府は事前に災害を予測していたんじゃないかっていう噂が出ている。
Garden? What the fuck? Why did I say garden? The government had predicted it beforehand.
日時まで特定できるほど。
Yeah, in detail down to the date and time. No, wait, could Oishi-san know something about that? Yeah, I wonder. Maybe he had some important clues related to Kano-san's theory. I quickly leaned forward and my palms grew sweaty as I waited for him to continue his story. Oh yeah, just the anticipation is killing him. It's actually fair enough that him believing in miracles just sort of increases the amount of hopelessness he's actually feeling. Because I suppose if you're just thinking that you know, in a really hopeless situation, you're just relying on the chance that something that obviously is never going to happen will happen, and you just feel more hopeless because you realise just how, I suppose, just how impossible it is for, you know, the situation to become good again, and, you know, obviously all of the really bad effects of the situation to reduce. Right, I really wonder what he's going to say. このひなみ沢の火山ガス災害が Oh god, yeah, of course. Remember how the volcanic gas in Hinamizawa was caused by a curse? Did you know? A curse? Oh yeah, he's just finding it so ridiculous. Yeah, definitely, yeah. However, the explanation Oishi-san raised sounded laughable. I mean, definitely, yeah. But, yeah, it was quite the damper on my building enthusiasm. Yeah, Akazaka, he just has this really, really confidential and obviously valid explanation. And yeah, Oishi is just like, are we going to believe religion for this? It's just really quite contradictory, let's just say that. After all, that supernatural term, like curse game, yeah, it's actually really quite funny that they just had so much rationality, and yet here we are talking about curses in the modern era. What was that? It's the first time I've heard of it. Oh yeah, definitely. But to be fair, learning about Oyashi or someone's curse is a big part of Hinamizawa's folklore, so it could potentially be better. 赤坂さんはご存じないかもしれませんがね。赤坂さん、you may not know this. ひなみ沢村では毎年タタリが起きるんですよ。お社様のタタリが毎年6月に Because of what Yasura-sama happens in June every year, or on the day of the Watanagashi. No way, it can't. Yeah, I really wonder if he's actually going to be able to link, you know, the predictions that Rika had. But something struck me before I could finish talking. Watanagashi, an icy chill ran down my entire body upon hearing that word. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. And then I remember the prophecy I heard from Hooded Rika 5 years ago. Yeah. Peace in this village. No, I know! Even though every year from now on something bloody will occur. That was when she told me in detail about the tragedies that would unfold in Hinamizawa over the next 4 years. And they all actually came true. I think that is just the weirdest thing. I mean, you know, a tiny little girl telling Akasaka about stuff like this. It would normally be really weird. If it was true, it would be even more fucking weird. Yeah, even though they would all occur on the day of the Watanagashi in June. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, it is odd as fuck. But in that case, are you saying that the gas disaster is the work of Curse too? That a supernatural being like a god used their incredible power to cause a natural disaster, is that it? Yeah, although that said, a part of me thought that idea was ridiculous. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Even if someone was carrying out serial murders every year under the guise of a curse, it was hard to believe that they would try to kill over 2,000 people this year. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, yeah. But at the same time, it's really quite funny. It is really funny, but this is what's happened. If you actually think about it, because Takano, obviously, she's killed, you know, the Hoodades to disguise, obviously, the risks her research had of being exposed. But yeah, she did kind of get the 2,000 people dead this year. But Oi-san already seemed to see through my doubts. Yeah, fair. It's okay. A normal person would laugh at the notion and brush it off as impossible. Yeah, definitely, yeah. But for somebody like me, I can't help but think about it. Why? I mean... Some people say that this disaster is the curse of the 5th year, but I think definitely... Yeah, definitely, yeah. Because the actual curse of the 5th year was something different. The curse was something different. Yeah, Tomitake and Takano. Well, Takano. But Tomitake, definitely. Yeah, there was a murder with the night of the Watanagashi festival. The victim was a travelling photographer named Tomitake Jiro, who killed himself by clawing out his throat with his own fingernails. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it was a death mysterious enough to be called the work of a curse. Oh my god, yeah, that must just be so
その
surprising
富
for
武氏の
Akasaka.
恋仲だったという高野って女性が岐阜の山中で行方不明に。
After that, a woman named Takano, who happened to be Tomitake's lover, went missing in the Gifu Mountains.
こちらはしばらくのち、
Yeah, yeah. The burn corpse was found shortly thereafter.
何
Yeah.
かの偶然
It doesn't sound like a coincidence, does it?
ではなさそうですね。
Definitely not. I mean, this actually wasn't. I mean, I suppose their relationship being so close, I mean, I suppose you could say a little bit of coincidence. Coincidence rains down on the fact that, you know, the person that was perceived to be Tomitake's lover is also the one that is killed right after, you know, the love Tomitake is. But yeah. I was terribly shocked. I tried to control my breathing to stay calm. Yeah, my heart rate skyrocketed when I heard the ominous premonitions. It was hard to breathe. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, this definitely isn't the best atmosphere for a bloody cafe that serves coffee. My god. But at the same time, though, yeah, I really understand what he means. I mean, just, God, hearing such a shocking, you know, cause of death.
他にもまだ続きがあるんですよ。その数日後に
Yeah,
フル
yeah,
デリカと
definitely,
いう
yeah.
巫女の娘が殺されましてね。
Besides, there's more. A few days later, the young shrine maiden Hudedika was murdered. Oh my god, that must be tough. Oh, yeah, yeah. Hudedika, that girl was murdered.
ちょっと待ってください。
Please
大
wait,
石さん
Oishi-san.
今
What was that just now?
なんて
Oh,
フルデリカ。
Hudedika, the daughter
フ
of
ル
the
デ神
Hudede
社の
shrine
神主の
priest.
娘です。赤坂さんは彼女のことをご存知でした
Oh,
よ
you met her,
ね。
didn't you, Wakazaka-san? Yes.
5年前の
Back then, 5 years ago.
あの時に
Yep.
私が殺されます。
Yeah, yeah, and I really just love how, well, not love, but like I just really find it quite interesting just how grave her voice sounds. I've never heard her voice that grave. Yeah, it's so true though because she has actually predicted it correctly. Of course she has. Oh my god, yeah. Just then I thought back to the words that Rika-chan told to me alone, and my mind went blank. Yeah, I thought it was the disaster that killed her. Yeah, no, but somebody has actually killed her. Yeah, but that wasn't the truth. And just as the prophecy 5 years ago predicted, someone killed her.
翌日の昼頃に神社に訪れた村
Oh
の
my
老
god,
人
the
たちが
elders out of all
フル
people,
デリ
God, the
カの
most
死体を
religious
発見したん
people.
ですがね。
Yeah, the elders in the village who visited the shrine the next day found Hudedika's corpse around noon.
いや、お知り合いならあまり詳しくは知らない方がいいでしょう。
Oh my god, fair. No, if you know her, it's probably best you don't hear any more
Yeah.
about it. No.
聞かせてください。
Oh god, he is. I really feel what bad for Akasaka, you know, just depending on what is actually going to be learnt by him next. Yeah, Rika, let's just say she didn't really die in the most peaceful circumstances. God. Oh god, yeah, definitely. I leaned forward. There was no doubt in my mind that I wanted to hear the truth.
死体は神社の境内、賽銭箱の脇に寝かされ
The
ていま
corpse was
した。
found in the shrine grounds, resting beside the offering
衣
box.
服の着用はなく、本人以外の複数の足跡が発見されております。
Oh god. I mean, that's actually fair enough that he's mentioning this, but that's not even the worst part. Her body was nude and we identified multiple sets of footprints other than hers. Yeah, that's actually really quite interesting that they've discovered footprints. I really wonder if in these times they would actually have systems that could get footprints and they could match it to like an exact make of foot, and then they could potentially use that to have a little bit more. I mean, to be fair, that would be fair enough. They could actually do that. They could match the foot size to a culprit. not a culprit, sorry, a suspect. But the only thing is they don't really have any suspects. They're not going to know, and they're not going to be able to have the means of getting to the mountain dogs or whatsoever, and questioning them.
おそらく他の場所で殺害されて神社に運ばれたものと。
Yeah. In consideration to my closest to Hudedika, Oi-san carefully chose his words to avoid inciting me. Then continued, yeah, good for him.
薬物で昏睡させられてからあの場所へ運ばれ、腹部を切開されたようです。
She was drugged and her unconscious body was brought there, and then it seemed they sliced up her abdomen. Yeah, God, I don't blame him for saying that. It was a horrible sight to behold. Unconscious? Yeah, I mean, at least she was unconscious, God.
生きながら腹を裂かれたということですか?
You're saying that she was alive, still alive when they ripped her open. It's just so barbaric. It seriously is. And if anything, I think the real sort of, you know, the real meat of this case really is just that it's so barbaric and so inhuman that you would never be able to really imagine a human in this day and age doing it. Just then a picture stepped out from Oi-san's file. Oh my... Holy fuck! So, Oishi is actually showing, Akazaka what happened to Rika. Holy fuck. It was a picture of what remained to Rika. Oh my god. Yeah, Oi-san rushed to grab that picture in a panic, but the miserable image of Rika was... Oh god, yeah, fair. Her cloudy eyes were open, staring vacantly above. Oh god, her abdomen was sliced open wide. It was so cruel, it pained me to breathe. I know, and I mean, just think about this. This is a child. This is an innocent child. That has, firstly, this is a child. Secondly, she's not exactly lived the best life, and you know, thirdly, when you realise the, you know, the sort of set in stone intentions of this, yeah, it really is just awful. It really is. The fact that people were going to gain from this, people were going to gain from the horrible, horrible murder of a, you know, tiny kid. Even though she predicted her own death, the fact that it actually happens was haunting. Yeah, fair. Well, she didn't actually know how she was going to die. That was one of the only things she didn't know. Was there nothing that could be done? Did she have to be swallowed by fate? No, I know. That's actually really quite interesting. Swallowed by fate. What the hell is going on? Yeah. Was it some kind of thrill killing? No, that's actually a fair assumption, but yeah, no clue. You can't have an idea. We still don't have a suspect. Yeah, definitely. Akazaka-san. Oh yeah, I'm really good that it's really good that he's actually starting to think that, because I agree. But Akazaka-san, I'm beginning to think this is far more than a simple murder. Are you familiar with the Watanagashi festival in Hinamizawa? It's a village festival in June. Set cotton from futons and adrift down the river. I vaguely remember the story and answered as such then. Oh, yep. The Watanagashi festival held in Hinamizawa didn't originally mean cotton drifting, though the wata in the name originally referred to organs. That's actually really quite interesting, that tale, because now we know the complete differences from that tale and reality. It's based on an old tale. Man-eating demons would devour their victims, then throw the organs down the river. So that's actually quite interesting, because obviously in Kotohogushi we've learned that basically, like, you know, the man-eating demons. It's actually quite the opposite. I mean, Orca was the only person that... I mean, no, they wouldn't throw their organs down the river, but the man-eating... I mean, the Griffiths would actually eat the people, but yeah, they just eat their organs. They slice them open like Takanor did here, but they would... and they'd just eat them. They wouldn't throw them down the river. But the things that were thrown down the river was an Orca obviously killed Hanyu, and then, you know, purified her by getting all of her organs and then just drifting them down the stream. How the fuck that's purifying is just anybody's guess, but okay. I mean, I suppose you can see it if you're really, really religious, but I just don't see it. Even if you did see, like, you know, obviously putting really dirty organs that have so much blood on them. It's just metaphorical blood, not physical blood, because you could actually say physical blood as well, but yeah. all their sins will be cleansed when put in the water, I suppose. But I still don't think that analogy is very valid just because of the means of getting the organs out of a body. I mean, God.
つまりひなみ沢村においては
Yeah, it's actually really quite
内臓を
interesting.
引きずり出す
It
ことは
does, yeah. In other
宗
words,
教
you're
的
saying
な
that
意味
pulling
が
out internal organs has some religious meaning in it, yes.
でひなみ沢村の昔
Yeah,
話
you see,
によると
according
です
to
ね
the legends of Hinamizawa
人
village.
食い鬼と人間が仲良く暮らすための調停者としてお社様という神様が降臨して
Yeah, it's actually really quite
ということ
interesting
にな
that.
っ
I
てい
mean,
るらしいん
it's...
ですよ
I suppose it's quite interesting that because it has some hint of truth in, definitely. They say that Oyashiro-sama was a god that descended there to end the fighting between humans and man-eating demons, supposedly. That's so funny though, that is completely true.
フルデリカはそのお社様の生
And
まれ
that
変
is
わり
true
だ
as
と
well, yeah.
村では
The
言われてい
villagers
ま
believe
した
that Hudedeka was the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama.
お社様の生まれ変わり
Reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama.
はい
Right.
ですからその荒人神であるフルデ
I
リ
just
カを
read
回復して殺
disemboweling
す
and then
のは
this is not going to be a very
村の信仰に
pleasant
対
read,
す
let's just say
るこれ以
that.
上ない冒涜行為と言えるわけですよ
Yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So we're safe to say that there is no crime more profane in the villagers' eyes than disemboweling and murdering their reincarnated goddess,
つ
Hudedeka.
まり
Yeah.
お社様への冒涜が起きたというこ
Well,
と
that's
ですか
actually really quite interesting that Akasaka could think this, but it's just really quite funny that, if anything, the motive really is quite opposite, because Takono's motive is obviously to, you know, get all of... I think, honestly, it's a motive that really has just been born from irrationality and, you know, that... It's just, whenever you're so stressed that you can't really think properly, those thoughts just building up. Yeah, I might say it's just like, you know, the fear and the satisfaction of being remembered, and her grandma's work being remembered, from having, basically, gassing an entire village. And becoming a god, and obviously... defying Oyashiro-sama and stuff like that. So I suppose blasphemy against Oyashiro-sama, yeah. Yes, precisely.
合災害が起きたのは
Yeah, then the gas disaster
殺され
occurred
た
in the evening
晩の
after
ことです
Hudedeka was killed. Oi-san nodded in agreement. The gas disaster occurred immediately after the blasphemy against Oyashiro-sama. Yeah, it's actually really quite interesting that. I mean, you could loosely connect it, but it just doesn't have any significance. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was beginning to see what he was talking about. Then the personal group responsible for the curse must be well versed in the history of Hinamizawa.
それに有毒ガスが発生した沼の名前
I wonder,
ご存知
Onigafchi
ですか
Swamp. Do you know the name of the swamp where the toxic gas released from?
鬼ヶ淵沼
It's
って
called
いうんです
Onigafchi Swamp.
鬼
Oni? Yeah. Abyss of the demons.
はい
Oni meaning
鬼
demon.
ですひなみ沢村の旧名は鬼ヶ淵村って言うんです
The original name of Hinamizawa was actually Onigafchi Village.
あれは村名の由来ともなる象徴的
Yeah,
な
yeah,
沼なんで
definitely,
す
yeah.
よ
The swamp is so symbolic that the village's original name came from it. We never really saw what the significance of Onigafchi was. I suppose because you remember Hanyu would communicate to Ryunork through that, or Ryu or whatever you want to call it. I preferred Ryunork because I'm more used to saying it, but like, yeah, I suppose the demon would actually communicate with a spirit from up above. I suppose you could loosely interpret it as. I mean, it's not really a spirit from up above, it's just a dimensional thing that's linked into her brain, but yeah.
この沼の奥底は地獄につながっていて人食い鬼たちはこの沼
That's
か
actually
ら
really quite funny that they said that the bottom of the swamp was connected to hell, and that's where the man-eating demons originated from. I think it would just be so funny if somebody, you know, did a diving exhibition, just go to the bottom of the swamp and really disprove this stupid superstition, because they came from a literal different dimension.
なんて話が
Yeah,
村
that's the story
人
the
たちの
villagers have
間
been
では
telling
ま
each
こと
other
しや
for
かに言い
generations.
伝えられています
するとお社様の逆鱗に触れて沼から鬼がやってきて村を滅ぼしたってことになりますか
When Yasudasama's wife was invoked, demons emerged from the swamp and destroyed the village.
その通りに有毒ガスが発生して
Yeah, in reality, toxic gas emerged from the swamp and destroyed the village.
でもそれはいくらなんでもできすぎてやいませんか
But doesn't the whole thing sound too good to be true?
こんなところで驚いてちゃまだまだですよ。
There are a lot more surprises in store for us there.
さらに続きがある
Because that's not all.
村の伝承では、お社様がお怒りになられると、地獄の釜が開いて正気が溢れ出す。
There's another story from the village. When Yasudasama becomes angry, the gates of hell will open and the miasma will flow
地
out.
獄につながる鬼ヶ淵沼から正
Oh!
気。
Hang on a second, what? The gate to hell is actually at the bottom of one of the Hang on a second, I can't believe I never knew the story before. That's so surprising. Well, I genuinely didn't realise this, but this killing has been, this gas disaster has been based, and it has really been made to look so much like a blooming, disaster that happened in relation to, the folklore of the village. That's actually really quite surprising, because I didn't know this fully. I didn't. That's actually, wow.
つまり、ガスです。
Yeah, so in other words, the miasma is the gas that was released. So what is miasma? Oh, an unpleasant or unhealthy smell of vapor. I have heard that word miasma before, thanks to Higurashi, but I don't know whether was that also prophesized. No, it wasn't, interestingly enough. I felt totally lost. Yeah, the gas disaster was predicted by village traditions. I mean, I don't really think... You could loosely connect that, though. I mean, you could, but at the same time, I don't really think they should, obviously... They shouldn't outrule it because it's not fully rational and it could just be down to coincidence. Could that be the real meaning behind Kono-san's government prediction theory? Could the death of Hideki be the impetus for the gas disaster? Could such a device exist at the bottom of the swamp? Impossible. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Now, maybe there was something to this. Could the villagers have kept such a device in the swamp in order to unite the village and maintain faith in Oyasura-sama? He's getting the right theories, but he's just thinking about the wrong people. But if such a large-scale device was being set up, the villagers would have grown suspicious the moment it was installed. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. It's ridiculous that I'm taking such foolish theories seriously. But at the same time, it's interesting that he's doing that because there's just so little. Yeah, but at this point, it's impossible to decide that there's no connection between the gas disaster and the villagers' belief in the curse. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That'd actually be really quite interesting if they completely downplay the meaning. Completely forget about the potential theory of everything having been a planned disaster just because of applying things to village folklore. I wonder. It's valid though. That's the most tricky thing. In reality, the villagers believed in the curse and they referred to the murder incidents that occurred every year as the curse. Yeah, definitely, they believe so strongly in it. Then was the gas disaster caused by humans who believed in Oyashiro-sama, or who were angered by the murder of hooded Erika? Interesting theory, but no, it's not right. Maybe it wasn't a natural disaster, but a targeted release of poisonous gas. Oh, yep, he's getting warmer. That also sounded weird. If the intent was to annihilate the villagers, I couldn't understand why they would want to express it in a way that resembled Oyashiro-sama's wrath. I mean, it really, if you said mental illness, then, and obviously just real delusion, and Hinamizawa syndrome, obviously you wouldn't even know what the third one was, but yeah, it just sounds so ridiculous that you wouldn't be able to fully agree. If you destroy all believers living there, who was left to feel threatened by the curse? Yeah, definitely, yeah. I desperately tried to organise the thoughts in my head. Still, the one thing I could conclude from all this was that the probability somebody could have predicted the gas disaster was greater than 0. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
大石さんは綿流しの日に毎年起こっていた
Oh,
ひなみ沢村で
interesting.
の
What he's
連
actually
続
going
開
to
始
say
事件
here. He's probably going to point the finger to Sonozaki's. Oishi, what do you think is responsible for the serial murders that happen in Hinamizawa every year on the day of the Watanagashi?
連続事件は存在しないというのが県警の公式見解です。
The official opinion of the prefectural police is that these incidents are unrelated. I mean, true but untrue.
事件に連続性はなく、綿流しの日に毎年事件が起こるというのも偶然に過ぎず、個別の偶発的な事件あるいは事故に過ぎないと。
There's no connection between them. It's just a coincidence that each of these incidents or accidents happen to each other on the day. Each year happen to occur each year on the day of the Watanagashi. Yeah. I mean, first two, sure, and then obviously. Any other one? It doesn't apply to.
そして今回の災害も
And then this disaster
偶
was
発
also
的
an
なもの
accident.
だったと。
つまり、誰もそこから一歩も踏み出そうとしないわ
Oh,
け
in
で
other
す。
words, nobody plans to pursue the case any further.
私が東京に来た理由、
Damn.
少しはお分かりいただけましたでしょう
Nobody
か。
plans to pursue. You're starting to understand why I came to Tokyo? That's actually really quite surprising though. Why would nobody want to, begin investigating if a literal gas disaster has happened in the village? I mean, I get that they probably haven't been able to investigate the cases just because of a lack of interest, but at the same time though, that is really quite surprising. I think it's just so funny, like, seeing this and how ridiculous it sounds. Like, how can that be a coincidence? Come on. Oh. A series of murders occurred in Oyashiro-sama's name, and it culminated in a disaster that destroyed the entire village. Yeah, a vicious crime that exploited the village's belief. Yeah, seemed like a reasonable assumption. Yeah, after Oisan's finished speaking, he lit one of his favourite cigarettes and took a deep breath.
私、定年まであとわずかなんです。
retirement age.
ですから、在職中にどうしても親代様のたたりを解明したい。
That's why I absolutely want to uncover the truth of Oyashiro-sama's curse while I'm still in the office.
悲願なんですよ。
It's my only wish. Yeah, good for him, but at the same time I really wonder if it's going to actually be able to happen now. I mean, I get that he really wants to do this, but at the same time, is it really going to be realistic now that the village is entirely gone? The ice in Oisan's iced coffee had completely melted down. Wow, they've probably been talking for a long time. He turned towards a waiter behind him and held up the empty glass. Yeah. Oisan continued investigating the case all on his own, never wavering in his belief that the crime had a human culprit acting under their faith in Oyasura-sama. Yeah. I think I learned what it really means to be a detective by looking up to elders like him. Oh yeah, fair. And this is my case too. Oh my god, yeah. I've been thinking about Hinamizawa since I lost my wife 5 years ago. Now that the village is no more, it's time to unravel the mystery behind these prophecies. Yeah, and Ika-chan. Oh my god, yeah, he really just feels... he probably just feels a real sort of feeling of obligation towards her. If the tragedies unfolded just as she predicted, then there must have been some dark conspiracy behind it. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. It's actually really quite funny. She's... I mean, any police officer would obviously want to defy this, but the only reason she knows about the, you know, the order of the events is because she's experienced them more than one time. But who the fuck is going to believe that? I mean, if you're a detective, your job is to be rational. I want to find the truth. No, I have to.
Oisan.
Oisan.
わかりました。
I understand. Let's do this together.
一緒に調べましょう。
Oh, that's actually really quite good that he's
Oyashiro-samaのこと。
yeah, and find the truth about Oyasura-sama. I really wonder how far they're actually going to be able to get, because this is a rabbit hole that never ends until it actually does end. But like, yeah, let's just not say that so I can't have a disproven point. I mean, sorry, I said nothing just there. I said nothing. What was that you were asking? That's actually really quite interesting that Akazaka sort of, you know, says that, you know, he thinks he's under the impression that he really just has learnt so much. But I suppose that is actually fair enough. Looking at the rational side, rationality versus, I don't know, irrationality, obviously because of superstition, it can't possibly exist. But yeah, looking at superstition, do you, and obviously using things that sound really convincing with superstition, and not obviously just coming to conclusions that that is the answer. The supernatural one, the easy one, in other words, is the answer.
Yeah, I was just about to look more into Hinamizawa myself. I mean, obviously you can't really explain why, but yeah. Oh, nice one. Oyasura-sama or not. Let's investigate this until we have no stern answer. I mean, to be fair, that's not actually going to be possible, but yeah, let's just be hopeful. It's really good that they are. Thank you, Akazaka-san. Oh, yeah, nice. I'd be honoured to have your cooperation. All the incidents up until now were treated as part of Oyasura-sama's curse, including the recent disaster. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. And it's only going to be more and more known as that as time goes on, because of obviously the people in Hinamizawa, in Kakiuchi, starting to get delusional and, you know, thinking that. And my orders from Kono-san were to investigate leads related to the disaster. Therefore, this case is an absolute worth investigation. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Is there something behind the Oyasura-sama faith? Yeah, let's start really examining this case. Yeah. I mean, that's actually fair enough that they would want to do that, but how are they it's going to be really hard to actually access the background just because of them being unable to access the old documents from the Higurashi shrine. And maybe we'll find something. Yeah, oh my god, I really hope they do. Yeah, but yeah, that's the spirit. Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Oisan stood up with the receipts in hand, and so a lengthy investigation began. Yeah! God, I'm actually really quite interested. So I wonder what they're going to be doing firstly. So I really wonder like what they're actually going to begin in their investigation. Which part of the investigation are they going to look at? Because there's so much that is unknown. So I'd assume it would be actually really quite hard to decide which thing is going to be looked at first. Let me guess. Oh, right. Oh my god, I'm gonna love this chapter. Well, that's actually going to be really quite interesting to see how Tomoe and Madoka. Oh right. Oh, hang on a second. Officer Minai. So Officer Minai, obviously, Tomoe. And yeah, it's actually really quite confusing because you thought Madoka is a Minai. So yeah, why is she saying that? But yeah, I thought she was just saying that for a joke, you know, just to get that person off her back. But no, that does kind of sound like something Tomoe would do, to be honest. Right, okay, I'm back now. Yeah, so this is Commodore from Transportation Division. Number 19 car, please respond. I repeat, number 19 car, please respond. This is the Transportation Division. Hello? Can you hear me? What is this? Officer Minai, please respond. Why isn't Officer Minai responding? She so sounds like the type of person that would just be, you know, one of those automated responses. Be the person you were trying to reach is currently patrolling in an area that cannot be reached by radio. Oh. If you would like to leave a message, please leave a brief 50-character message after the dial tone. If the person is feeling up to it, they will respond to you later. Click. Madoka, best NPC. Minai Madoka responded us in a teasing tone and raised the volume on the car stereo, adding it so she didn't hear anything. That's so unprofessional. I mean, it is funny, but at the same time, though, holy shit. Of course, the receiver was still turned off, so the person on the other end didn't hear anything. Oh, good. Even though she was infamous for our non-exemplary work ethic, Madoka wasn't so arrogant as to talk down her superior back at the Transportation Division. Yeah, fair enough. I'm actually really quite surprised. Yeah, I think she's definitely becoming self-aware. Let's just say that. I'd like to keep slacking on, but I think this is taking it too far. It had been an hour since returning from patrol in Hokkaido City, and that was the 5th call now. Oh my god. Even though it was easy to avoid responding the first time, that couldn't go on forever. Why are you avoiding to respond? This is literally work. Your job is really fucking important. I kind of get the impression that in the police force, especially like the higher you get up, if they don't like what you're doing, they will not feel any obligation to have you on board. They may sack you. Ah, what's that? Madoka took off her police hat and tossed it in the passenger seat. The signal at the intersection ahead was red. She pulled her small patrol car up to the edge of the road and came to a stop. And then she tilted her rear view mirror and began to straighten out her messy hair. Oh, split ends. Oh, how gross. What does she mean by split ends? Does it just mean... dunno. It's just... Oh right, Madoka realised that tomorrow is payday and she'll be able to pay a visit to a hair salon. While thinking that, she pulled the notebook from her breast pocket and opened it to find the rewards carved out inside. Oh yeah, I've got... It was paid by more visit. She received a free shampoo. She was planning to hold it off until she could get free hand cream, but she did just run out at home, and it would be convenient. Oh, that is actually really quite nuts. Yeah, not nuts. Sorry, useless. But yeah, nice.
Shampoo.
Should I get the shampoo? Thinking about shampoo brought back sour memories. A recent fight with her began because of shampoo. Oh my god, was it because of her sister? I can't believe how little she's taking this seriously though. It's really quite funny. Oh god, we're actually gonna see it. Saturday last month, while they were on the night shift together, Madoka thought to take a shower but noticed she was out of shampoo, so she went to borrow some from the first division. What? Shampoo was inexpensive, so of course she would be willing to share. Oh my god, you are a fucking idiot. All Madoka had to do was quietly take it without a word, but then she had to go and open her big mouth. Oh, what's this? Oh my god, I feel kind of bad for Tomoe. She must be getting so annoyed here. What are you doing? You don't use any hair conditioner at your age. It's the same with soap. You're so rude. You don't need such cheap shampoo. Will we ever get a boyfriend like this? Oh boy, she's now going to be pissed off. Even though Madoka just meant it for a little joke, she must have thought she's just sticking her nose where it didn't belong, and when it was quite uncomfortable. Oh yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, keep in mind they were in the middle of a work shift here. Like so, she got in a bad mood and then made a sarcastic retort, which irritated Madoka and resulted in her slinging back some insults of her own. In the end, the two of them stormed off in anger and haven't spoken to each other since. Oh my god. Still, if we come across each other in the hallway, I have to deal with her sulking face. Oh god. It must just be really funny seeing this person that's such a high rank, and yet, you know, seeing them in their weak points, like when they're sulking and stuff like that. Still, if we come across each other in the hallway, I have to deal with her sulking face. Are you really that childish? She went to bother some for the first division. I love it. Hang on a second, what? It's the same with soap? Does that imply that Tomoe doesn't use soap either? What the fuck? What? I bet you Tomoe came back with something about, you know, their relationship and Kano and Madoka's relationship. How Madoka was certainly the cause of. She was, yeah, but she should have been old enough to get over it. Yeah. Actually, she was always like this. She acts calm and intelligent, but in reality, she can be very emotional. Hates when her interests and her values are put outside of her comfort zone. Yeah, no, I understand that, yeah. That's why she still couldn't accept the man Madoka used to marry. Oh, so this is Tomoe. Oh, yeah, of course. Ultimately, she declared, if the two of you get together, I'll disown you as a sister. Oh my god. I mean, I get that they get mad, but at the same time, having that bad of a precaution, holy shit. She can be very emotional, yeah. I suppose her interests and values are being pushed outside of her comfort zone. In other words, you know, having a work ethic. Madoka attempted to persuade her on a 19 separate occasions, but she got shot down every time. Oh yeah, fair enough. I mean, to be fair, if Tomoe is that mad, there is no convincing her, no matter how much you can try. Like, the relationship wasn't as broken as it was before. Oh my god, so it was more broken before? So at least progress is being made. There really are a lot of roadblocks in store. Whoops. Oh, right. She was thinking that she noticed a light turning green. Madoka sat down her notebook, fixed the rearview mirror and stepped on the accelerator. Oh, I love that. She's not even looking at the traffic lights. Ugh. As she crossed the intersection, she noticed a sports car approaching from behind in the next lane over. Oh god, so let me guess, somebody driving really, really fast. Oh, yeah, that's surprising. That'd actually be really quite funny if he was speeding, because then, you know, Madoka isn't exactly nobody, she's a police officer. But I don't know if she'd actually be able to validly do that. And then it quickly overtook Madoka's patrol car, travelling just barely at the speed limit. What to do? She stopped to think for a second. When she glanced over, it looked like the driver wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Oh my god. Why would you drive without a seatbelt? That's so dumb. That wasn't a legal violation at the moment. Wouldn't it be an officer's duty to stop the car and give them a warning? Yeah, fair. Well, I guess it's okay. Madoka lifted her foot from the accelerator and let the car gradually lose speed. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if you're in a situation like this, if you have a public car as opposed to a police car, which I'm assuming she has at the moment, or maybe she does have a police car. If she has a police car, then she could validly do it. But yeah, if it's just barely below the speed limit, then she can't actually validly do anything, I'd assume. Patrol car could catch up over a long enough distance. Oh, so she has actually in a patrol car, right? But a pursuit could cause trouble. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not worth it. No. Plus, the way the car was driving was clearly intended to provoke police vehicles. Oh right. If a patrol car got tangled up with someone like that, the odds were even higher that it would lead to trouble. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And if somebody, you know, obviously these people were going to be difficult. In fact, a couple of days ago, one of her colleagues engaged a driver who committed a parking violation, but the driver screamed at the officer. Jesus Christ. Holy fuck, that's awful. Female police officers are an especially enticing... Oh god. That really is depressing. No matter how they wielded social justice, they are always injustice that stood out of reach of that power. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. So all you have to do is stick to the book. You're honest to a fault. Yeah, Madoka shrugged her shoulders with a bitter smile on her face. You remember that saying that it was directed at her? Yeah, who had been given a reprimand just last month for pursuing a suspect across prefectural borders. Oh god, yeah, so she's definitely learning from something, yeah. Wow. Holy shit, I've never seen this image before, I'm not even joking. Wow. It really was an unfortunate incident. Oh god. They were actively pursuing the culprit, but they had already identified both the model and plate number of the vehicle, so they could have relayed the information to the neighbouring police in Sawaguchi station. Sawaguchi. I swear there was like some sort of creepypasta village that had Sawa in the name. Sumisawa or something like that, I don't know. The perpetrator was just a single offender, petty thief. Oh god. It was a sudden and insignificant crime, yet it ended up becoming a much bigger deal than it needed to be. Oh right, was it just because she actually, you know, not only crossed prefectural borders, but also just chased him, I suppose. Nevertheless, she crossed the border without permission in the heat of the pursuit and was reprimanded for it. Yeah, and it ended up being an unnecessary blemish to a promising career. I know, that is actually really quite awful. I mean, the thing is, though, I'm actually really quite surprised that, you know, justice is that brutal. I mean, if you're having a chase and this person escapes into the next border, if the person really cares about their job that is obviously chasing you, then boom, you've won. Even though she would have received no complaints as she just acted within her jurisdiction. Oh, yeah, definitely. That is really quite a shame.
1年間黙って座ってるだけでも偉くなれる肩書きなのに。
Besides, she can achieve a great promotion if she can just stay quiet for the next year.
なんで厄介事を背負い込むのかな、あの人は。
So why does she have to burden herself with such trouble? Suddenly sighed. From her perspective, she was just squandering her talents and efforts while spinning her wheels way too hard. I mean, to be fair, when she's squandering, what does she actually exactly mean? A waste? Interesting. No, I mean, to be fair, that is actually fair enough that she thinks that, but at the same time, I think that if this is a chase, then obviously what's going to be better, sort of not abiding by the rules that you are set a little bit, or not chasing this person at all, who is objectively speeding, who is, what else did he do? I mean, he was a thief as well. I don't know. Yeah, however, if their positions were reversed, oh yeah, she would have got in so much more trouble than her. Yeah, I mean, if Madoka was in her shoes, she'd probably leave the field work to others and spend almost every day of her tenure making the rounds and greeting others. So the bigwigs would remember her. Despite being a local police officer, Tomoe's excellent results got her adopted as an executive candidate by the main headquarters of the National Police Agency. Oh my god, that is such a big rank. It put her on the elite course, the so-called recommended group. Yeah. So impressive. After all, she was an elite officer who rose above most difficult portions of the National Police exam. Yeah, definitely, yeah. And that brought in a lot of attention. Yeah. Plus, she was a woman. Oh, selecting as a part of the government gender equality movement. Oh yeah, of course they're seeing benefits like that, yeah. It even got coverage in the newspaper. That's actually really quite surprising. If anything, I would have thought that things like that would be... I don't know, I would have thought the reason of her being a woman that could have potentially put them off doing it, but I'm really happy that, you know, that's obviously having no effect. Yeah. So if she took advantage of that, she would reach a rank and position higher than her late father. So her father was actually a police officer as well, right? And be guaranteed a long and prosperous future. I couldn't agree more, yeah. At least she should have. Oh my god, yeah. Even so, she thrust her neck into all sorts of crime scenes and worked tirelessly all night without ever taking days off. I mean, that really is unhealthy. She should be looking after herself more. Guess he inherited that passion from dad. Oh right, Madoka thought back. Her father definitely wasn't the sort of person who cared about rewards. If he saw a person in trouble, he'd break his bones trying to help. Wow, even when he wasn't on duty. That is so impressive. And from time to time, he'd go through some incidents that didn't seem worth it. Madoka certainly respected her father, but all the same, always watching him run off and leave the family behind, sometimes it hurt. That is understandable. Yeah, I can imagine that. As if the helpless strangers were more important than his own family. Yeah. It was impossible to avoid seeing it that way. That is actually fair enough. And is being a police officer really such an upstanding job? Unlike her and her father, Madoka was invited to take the recruitment exam and just ended up with a job. Alright, that's all it really was to her. Yeah, that's fair enough. It's just a job as opposed to like a complete lifestyle, and that is fair enough. At the same time, with that mindset, that's why she's in a lower rank than Tomoe. But yeah. She's probably seen, you know, she's probably just seen a lot of accounts of people that really have excelled in the police, you know, field, and she just doesn't really feel it would be for her, I'd assume. Yeah, that's why she couldn't emulate their enthusiasm. Looking at it from their point of view didn't change anything. Yeah. Oh my god, Komoda! Oh wait, no, hang on a second, I thought it was Kano. Oh god. Officer Minai, please respond. Officer Minai. Well, I often thought Madoka could hear the voice over the radio repeatedly saying, please respond. Oh my god, why aren't you responding? That is actually so stupid. Even so, they'll probably give up after a dozen times this time as well. And unsurprisingly, the radio went quiet a few minutes later. Oh, right. And then a sigh came out. So she didn't respond after the 4th attempt. They would likely send somebody else instead. But Madoka was sure Chief Commodore was trying to send her to go pick her up. Oh. Well, she was in a bad mood from the quarrel, so Chief Yamaoki had probably asked him to set this up to give him a chance to make up. Oh, right, yeah, fair enough. But they can't assume this, though. What if it's something completely different? But only today she was thankful for that sentiment, even though she was thought it was stupid. Sheesh, give me a break. I hope your radio's turned on. Why'd it have to be today? She scratched at the hair she just straightened out of frustration. Oh god. Yeah. I love this. She always calls her sister her. She can't even call sister Tomoe. Today, not only did she lead the parking violation crackdown this morning, but she also gave a traffic safety class at an elementary school. Oh my god. Oh, filling in for a junior officer who couldn't make it due to a sudden illness, and she just got fired from that. Oh my god, that must have been a nightmare. Speaking to a huge crowd of children, telling them the rules of the road and explaining why they matter. It must be really quite challenging. It can be difficult to get through to some of the unruly children with the words alone. Yeah, definitely, yeah. It took a lot of care and attention to keep the conversation funny and interesting so they wouldn't get bored. It was really hard. No, I can imagine that, especially elementary school kids. Oh my god. Besides, no matter how hard you try to teach them, there's always at least one person who will rebound once they get through their driver's license exam. Yeah, like the idiot driver earlier. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I suppose because they've had the education, the chances of that happening are lower, but still, holding in the frustration and emptiness and continuing a speech for over 3 hours. Oh my god, including the rehearsal, would be exhausting for anyone. I couldn't agree more, yeah. I can imagine Madoka doing a good job though. She seems really quite nice. She just kind of seems like the person that would be good in that sort of thing. I don't know. She definitely seems like a really quite kind person. I want to go back to the station and head to the break room right away there. Besides, being told to make up with her in this totally exhausted state went beyond the joke and sounded like nothing but harassment to Madoka. She'd be in a bad mood the moment she opened her mouth. Oh my god, yeah, definitely. And it would be difficult to get an apology out. It was readily apparent that she'd just fire out barbs and sarcasm, souring things even more. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I mean, it is true though. You can't deny that. It is true. Oh. This is a patrol car, not a taxi. That's actually fair enough. It's an airport, so why not just hail a cab and send the receipt to the accounting department? I love that she's actually given this thought. Oh, the communication light. Oh, the communication light lit up once again. Jeez, it's going to be another go pick her up message? Madoka predicted so, but it rang 5 times with the same intervals. And then she put her hand on the dial, intending to reduce the voice volume even lower. But just then...
Hi.
Hello, hello?
This
is Kageboushi PS. Hang on a second, is that Oishi? Can you hear me, Madoka-chan? Huh? Hearing a familiar voice, Madoka turned the dial back to full volume, and then she focused her ears, trying to identify the person calling out to her. Yeah. That is Oishi. Hello, Madoka-chan. Please come in. No doubt, Madoka quickly parked the patrol car on the side of the road and picked up the receiver. Wait, hang on a second, oh yeah, of course they know each other really quite well. That voice, Kura-chan? Why are you there? That's actually really quite surprising, so I wonder what... Could you imagine if Madoka actually has some sort of... I mean, she is not a detective, to be fair, so maybe it's not going to be likely. But at the same time, what if she actually has some involvement in this case? That'd be so good. You finally responded, huh, Madoka-chan? Yeah, I agree, yeah. That's not good. You need to respond. You need to pick up the radio when the PS calls you. Yeah, fair enough. I was worried something may have happened to you. Oh no, sorry. I don't really think that's a good thing to be saying, you know? No, I've heard about it before. Oh. I'm actually really quite surprised that they're allowed to do that. Like, they're allowed to sort of, I don't know, just stick their nose into, you know, personal affairs between people. Obviously, when I say affairs, I mean, like, disputes, rows, arguments, as opposed to an actual affair. Yeah, but... Well, no. Yep. Someone doesn't surprise me. Yeah, it's kind of vague. Madoka suddenly raised her voice as she gave a vague answer. Then she switched off the car stereo and took a deep breath to calm herself before picking up the receiver again. Listen, Kura-chan. When I heard about the disaster near Shishibonet, I contacted Okinomiya multiple times, but nobody ever got back to me. Oh. Oh my god, fair enough, yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Oh yeah, of course. That actually makes sense why a police department wouldn't actually respond, yeah. Because I thought that was so that would be so unprofessional if that was happening just because of, you know, error of the department. Yeah, I'd intended to contact you sooner. Yeah. Still. Jeez. yeah, she can't really, to be fair, she can't really say anything to that. Yeah, surprised by the answer, she breathed a sigh of relief. Yeah, definitely. She was happy to finally get an explanation after struggling to get a reply up until now. Yeah, fair. Yeah. But that means you're safe, thank goodness.
テレビでも沖宮の町ひどい状態だって言ってたから。
TV made it seem like Okinomiya was in a bad shape.
いやまあ正確には
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
お隣のひなみ沢村なんですけどね。
No, well, the disaster actually struck the neighbouring town, Hinamizawa Village. The neighbouring town, Hinamizawa Village. Oh, yes. Yeah, and it's true that they're in terrible condition. I'm sorry I didn't get in touch sooner. Yeah, definitely, yeah. His voice sounded mocking, cunning, and insolent. Still, Madoka knew Kura-chan since before she even became a police. What? Really? How the hell? So she could tell when he was being serious. Wow. Oh god. She had a rather lengthy history with Oishi. Madoka first met him when she was working at a hostess bar. He was a regular customer. Yeah, God. So I really wonder what's actually happening in Okinomiya as a result of the disaster. I mean, God, it must be complete carnage over there. It really must be. Especially because, like, you know, the village next to you has just completely had a fucking gas explosion. Like, there's going to be the worry of what happens if the gas gets into Okinomiya, and there's also going to be the worry of, like, what do we do? And how do we help? And stuff like that, really. First impression that he was a goofy old man, but it turned out he was a detective and an acquaintance of her father's. Oh, that's actually really quite cool. So eventually they got speaking, even when she was off work. Yeah, that's actually really quite cool. Plus he had apparently taken care of her older sister a few times before. Oh, I didn't realise they knew each other beforehand. So by now he became a close friend who she could place her trust in. That's really quite nice. Oh, that's Akazaka. Oisan, that's enough chatter. Wrap it up. Oh god, Oishi getting admonished. Oh, that's right. Actually, Madoka-chan, can I ask you a small favour? A favour? What is it? Oh my god. Is it going to be pick up Tomoe? Madoka responded to Oishi while thinking about the identity of the person interrupted on the radio. Yeah, fair. Please go pick her up today. Hang on a second. I just want to sort of reread. What was the reason she was actually being... Yeah, definitely. It's not just, you know, not wanting to be a glorified taxi service, but yeah, there is actually something very important. But it is still a glorified taxi service. There is something very important I need to discuss with Chief Inspector Minai. With Sis? Oh, yeah. Wow. The roar of an engine resonated as an aeroplane flew across the sky at dusk. She caught a glimpse of an unfamiliar logo on the plane's tail wing, but she did briefly see the characters look like kanji, so she assumed it must have belonged to that new Chinese airline. Oh, right. She thought that the name must have been First Chinese Air, but she couldn't recall. Oh. Wow. Oh, so this is Tomoe here. Yeah, I didn't even read that. Yeah, got to think about it, the number of flights to mainland Asia have been increasing. Yeah, God, what an image. This is amazing. I actually really quite like this picture. 我 quickly muttered that while that thought while watching the wings fly off into the twilight sky. Wow. When she was young, she always used the Tokyo airport for travel abroad. Oh. But now they decided to make a national airport here in response to the internationalization trend that came through Osaka and Fukuoka even, so the Chiba region became a major travel hub with many planes departing and arriving here. That's actually really quite cool. They've hit their capacity limit, and supposedly there were talks in Congress to relocate a new international airport in the near future. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, fair. Still, it was an indispensable gateway for the distribution of people and goods at the moment. Oh yeah, fair. And the terminal building off in the distance was bustling with a large crowd of tourists and businessmen. Yeah, that's really quite cool. Oh. God, I definitely don't think she fulfilled her dream. My dream back then was to become a flight attendant. Her reason was simply because she enjoyed travelling by airplane. That would have actually been really quite funny. Why are you a flight attendant? I enjoy travelling by plane. Oh my god, she later set her sights on becoming a florist and an athlete? A florist, out of all things, that's just such a different career. And I mean, athlete's actually fair enough, but especially because of how much, in terms of athletic related things that are involved in policing. But a florist? I don't really think that has much to do with policing. I suppose a flight attendant would have a bit to do with policing, because obviously you'd be able to, you'd just be able to control how things are organised and how, I suppose you organise. Yeah. Police officer and detectives were jobs near the bottom of her list of future job dreams. Yeah. But now I'm a detective, just like my father, huh? Tomoe imagine the face of her late father as she gazed down the mama. Oh god, yeah. Tomoe's father, Mina Yusuke, he was strict and quiet, but at the same time he was gentle and had a strong sense of justice. Yeah, that's interesting, and it's funny because we've always heard that Tomoe has inherited that, you know, strong sense of justice, and he was the sort of policeman that Tomoe was proud of. Yeah, that's good. She barely spoke to him about his work. Oh, but when she spoke with her father's colleagues and superiors, they all had nothing but praise for it. That's really nice, yeah. When she saw the sheer number of people crying at her father's funeral, she understood they hadn't simply been flattering her. Yeah. And at the same time, it made his departure all the more... Oh, that is actually fair enough. Yeah, just thinking, like, how much he is going to be missed and, you know, how much he's contributed to life. And, yeah, the fact that all of it's just gone. Nevertheless, Tomoe didn't even learn that her father was a member of the Metropolitan Police Department until she was accepted into the recommendation group by the National Police. That's insane. Wow. Because you can really just tell how secretive, you know, he was. I mean, obviously, he probably never said anything about that, but at the same time, she wasn't to know whatsoever. I mean, I wonder if this was actually confidential information leaking the position that you're in to somebody that wouldn't be a police officer at the time, because Tomoe wasn't a police officer then. So, yeah, because, yeah, he died when she was 17. That is really quite surprising, though. Working with elite officers and investigating national cases in the name of public safety. Yeah. National cases. According to a colleague of her father's, he was secretly investigating a certain incident. Oh, God. Oh, that's horrible! And he died at home in the fire the day before the conference where he was supposed to report his findings. When Tomoe learned that fact, she was so shocked she couldn't speak for a while. No, I don't blame her. I really don't. Oh, yeah, now we're going to get a little more insight on what's actually happened. You know it's a console arc if they have the warm sound of, you know, fire. And also a fire background. That really is quite awesome. Not only has, you know, he died and everything, her family completely being in just ruination because now these guys literally don't have parents, but also the fact that, you know, before he had something to show, something he'd been working really quite hard for, and yet he just died before he could present it. It's horrible. Yeah, a fire burned Tomoe's house down to the ground, and both her parents were unable to escape. Yeah, the cause of the fire was suspicious and was eventually ruled arson. What the fuck? But the culprit was never caught. Who the hell did that? What? Oh my god, I know. Yeah. It would be impossible for that not to be the case. Her cherished moments were... Oh god, her cherished moments were reduced to ashes. God, that must be so awful. That really must be. Firefighters were able to rescue Tomoe and her sister Madoka from the second floor, and the two of them only suffered minor burns. However, Madoka remained... Oh my god! Shit, man. Oh yeah, I don't blame her. I really don't blame her. That must just be... I don't even want to imagine. Not due to the effects of the fire, but from the shock of seeing her parents burn corpses firsthand. Madoka? Get a hold of yourself, Madoka. Oh my god. Oh my... No, I know. Tomoe herself also became overwhelmed the moment she saw them. She began vomiting and her eyesight began to fog over. Oh my god, I know. Oh god, that must have been... That is just so brutal. But Madoka was just a junior high school student at the time and was far too mentally fragile to handle such a dark experience. No, I don't blame her. And even if she wasn't, I think it would be so hard to do so anyway. And it took an entire year before her psyche was able to fully recover. I mean, yeah, that's really not that surprising. I mean, God, it's just so awful. That must just be, I don't even want to imagine how awful that would be, because God, she really must have had to go through a lot. Even if her wounds healed, she never went back to the way she was. Even after Madoka's recovery, she continued. Oh God, especially when she was around for. Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus, that is so sad. Not only that, she felt lost around her new younger classmates, and her good grades at the beginning of the school year gradually dwindled. Oh my God, that must just be such a horrible sight to see people that you've lived with for the entirety of your life. That have loved you, that have raised you, that you've had so many memories of, just fucking disgusting corpses that have no life inside them, of all the life burn out of them. It must just be awful. Oh shit. She also skipped school frequently and hung out with a bad crowd. Tomoe couldn't count the number of times they fought over that. Meanwhile, Tomoe entered the law department at a national university and had such excellent results that she received a scholarship. Oh my God. Oh God, yeah. As a result, the differences between the two sisters grew larger, and Madoka's feelings of inadequacy drove the two farther apart. Yeah, their relationship became cold as ice until they met again a few years ago. They were as distant as strangers. My God. So I wonder what actually made them make up. Perhaps because of those differences in opinions when Madoka introduced Tomoe to her fiancé. Oh yeah, she was furiously opposed to the marriage, and she hasn't relented in that stance even now. Yeah, fair. Oh, that's actually fair enough. I suppose just Tomoe, Madoka was being so behind Tomoe in terms of education related things, and then just being ahead, that must just be, I suppose the jealousy really must override you at that point. Oh God. It's so unfortunate though. I mean, it's both of them. Not just one, both. I can't believe somebody did arson though. I mean, if it was natural causes it would be bad enough, but if that was fucking arson, holy shit. That's just so bad. Oh God. Yeah, so that's interesting. Tomoe saw the same things as Madoka, but she didn't really get affected just because, her maturity being a lot higher. Oh God. Sorry. Oh God, that's horrible. It really must be just unbelievable how many effects this could have on a person. And I'm going to be honest, I'm actually really quite surprised at Madoka, She's obviously broken free of that. So as Tomoe, and I mean, I get that they do have really quite different, really quite significant differences in their relationships, but still, it's nice that they actually haven't been fully scarred by this, because I'm going to be honest, I think if a lot of people saw what Madoka's seen, and Tomoe, obviously, they would be scarred for life, honestly. Yeah. Aww.
昔はあの子の考えてることすぐに分かったのにな。
Even though back in the day I used to be able to tell what she was thinking right away. It was the same with their fight over the shampoo last month. She couldn't even tell if Madoka was only joking around or being serious. So instead of just laughing it off, she instinctively resorted to vitriolic remarks. Oh my God, that must have actually been really quite awful if, like, you know, this was just a joke, you know. I mean, not really a joke, but just something that, I mean, maybe it could be a little bit of both satirical and yet, you know, serious at the same time. Even though they traded barbs like that all the time. Oh, God, that is sad. Yeah. It really is fucked that these people have basically, they've had, you know, a relationship, sister and sister relationship, and it's just got worse and worse just because of this, you know, horrible thing that happened. It's just like really horrible incident and then really horrible effects of it. Breathing a heavy sigh, Tomoe dropped her eyes to the file in her hands and opened it. It contained old notebook pages, individually wrapped in polyethylene storage bags. She accidentally found it in the storeroom of her house at the scene of the incident. Oh my God, it was the... Oh God, that's so horrible as well. It was the only thing her father left her. She opened the file and looked down. The notes that she discovered that day were deteriorating from 12 years of age and had been transferred to a file for preservation. Wow, they must be really quite important. What are they? God, we haven't seen this image forever. In what feels like forever. A memo was scribbled on the last page of the note, surrounded by a big circle. Oh, Kakiyuchi, June, Wednesday, go. Oh, that's interesting. So does she go every sort of Wednesday of June, so she can maybe discover what's meant by this? That part was drawn. Oh my God, it's done right. That part was drawn larger than all the other text. Oh God, that just must be. Oh, I feel so bad. I mean. It's just really quite something that they know each other so much less as, you know, sisters, just because of this. Yeah, I really wonder. Oh my God, could you imagine if this is something really quite secret or just something really important that the father would have actually discovered? Because I wonder if that actually has some relevance to the case he was solving. Kakiyuchi Airport was a bit far from the city centre. Yeah, she's travelled with her family many times, but never to this airport. Yeah, her father was definitely visiting this airport several days before the accident. I wonder. Plus, he had no relatives in this area, so we had no reason to visit here unless it was related to the case. Oh, 12 years. Oh, God, yeah, that must be really quite awful. Just like, you know, especially because this person's dead and this is the last sort of remnant of, you know, things that they've done that can actually be found, and not knowing the truth must be really quite hard.
Tosa.
Dad. She wanted to hear the answer. No, definitely. What was he pursuing? Yeah, I wonder, what was he trying to find here? Or did he find it? She didn't know. She just couldn't understand it. Yeah. Oh, it's Madoka. By the way, this is the first time we've seen Madoka. They actually look really quite similar now, the way you sort of see this image. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh, that is actually really quite, you know, that is awful. Like, you know, just in the midst of a really important moment and then just getting interrupted by sister out of everybody, like the person that, you know, has had a row with you. God, that must be the worst. God, I really wonder if what he was trying to find actually has some relevance to anything nowadays. I don't know. Oh my God, that must be really quite a shock. Oh my God, so we get like a full swipe Madoka. She actually looks really quite different from what I'd expect. Tomoe turned back towards the voice from behind. Madoka was standing there brushing the hair from her face. Madoka. I'm here to pick you up. assistant director Minai. I love that. I love that, just making it seem as if you have no relevance to her at all. After hearing what she came here for, Tomoe carefully turned back. She could hear a small sigh from Madoka behind her. I'm surprised you keep doing this every year. It's been 12 years now. Oh, interesting that. Only 12 years. Yeah, still the same era, fair enough. Yeah, we've already passed the 12th anniversary of his death, though. Oh, seriously, it's just astonishing how diligent she is. Yeah, oh yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah, she really does have that dedication that I suppose Madoka didn't really have, but at the same time, yeah, she really just has respect as well. I mean, she just feels that it's an obligation to sort of honour him, to sort of find, I don't know, just to go there with some sort of hope of finding something and commemorating his death. Her sister Tomoe had been visiting Kakeuchi Airport on every Wednesday in June. Oh god, yeah. Every Wednesday though, wow. Even before she was transferred to Kakeuchi, even back in Ibaraki, every time, oh my god. That really is quite something, wow. Even when she was a student with limited funds for living and travelling as well. That is proper dedication, god. Oh. My god, that's unfortunate. I mean, that is actually fair enough, but at the same time, that was not the case whatsoever. God. Both her college boyfriends broke up with her because of it. They each suspected that she was sneaking off to see another man. No, but the situations like that are so impossible. They're just not going to... I suppose if they broke up, I'd assume no matter how much she explained herself, they'd just, you know, they wouldn't be listening to her. She was astounded by the stupidity of it all, of her boyfriends. Yeah, I know. She couldn't imagine her older sister ever cheating, so they're really as if they couldn't see that either. Oh yeah, definitely, they're definitely not made for each other if, you know, they can't see that. In Madoka's opinion, that would automatically have disqualified them as boyfriend. Well, in any case, Madoka took several more deep breaths, then calmly walked up next to Tomoe. Oh my god, that must be really quite awkward. By the way, why does Madoka have such a short hairline? Like, seriously? But only a heavy sinus blew over. Yeah. Regardless, things wouldn't start until somebody said something. Oh my god, that's so awkward. Feeling no choice but to break the ice, Madoka turned to face her, but at that moment... Oh god, are they going to do it at the same time? God, it is so surprising that she has this much of an obligation to do it. I mean, it really is quite honourable, honestly. It's actually really quite funny that, you know, she can have, you know, she's such an intelligent woman and yet she can have boyfriends that are so stupid. I mean, she can have had boyfriends that were so stupid. It's just really quite funny because obviously that would not be the case whatsoever, and I'd assume that no matter how much you try to argue your point, they would just not listen. Oh, wow, that's actually really quite surprising. I'm sorry. Huh? I love her expression. Surprisingly, Tomoe was the first to apologize. Yeah! About before. For being so immature over something so insignificant. Oh, sorry for saying such terrible things. Yeah. Yeah, there's some unnecessary things. I think it's really quite nice that they're making up. I mean, I get that it doesn't really I get that this probably doesn't really do much, but at the same time, because they probably can't see each other much anyway, but like still, it's just nice to think that they're on better terms with each other. And I mean, God, if they're in such bad terms that, you know, they've been falling out for a month, and at work they've actually been noticed by other colleagues, and they've been concerned for. Yeah. I'm sorry. How strange. Feeling slightly confused, Madoka examined her sister's face to make sure her complexion was not. Maybe it was a trick of the setting sun, but she didn't. Oh yeah, fair. Oh, it must just be because of this. And I do find it really surprising that I mean, to be fair, it isn't really too surprising, but at the same time, the fact that, you know, 12 years after the death, she still hasn't really been able to get over it. I mean, obviously it would make anybody sad, no matter how long it happened for, but no matter how distant in the past it actually happened in. But yeah, it's just really quite surprising that she's. No, it's not surprising at all. It's just like, I suppose it's quite something. It really shows how much she cares. Aren't you angry, sis? Yeah, it's actually really quite surprising that. Huh? Up until yesterday, you've been completely ignoring me. Did something change? Were you the one who was ignoring me all this time? Oh god, I sense an argument. Of course not, Madoka thought. From the start, Tomoe was the one who... Yep, you know better. Do not start anything. Yeah, definitely. Forget it. It was a pointless argument. Just set it aside. Did something happen? Yeah, I wonder. No, nothing. Oh, that is fair, which is exactly why I'm feeling a little depressed. Nothing. Madoka understood what that meant. Why did Dad come to Kageboushi Airport 12 years ago? Yeah, and why was that left? And that, why was that all he left behind in his notes? Yeah, it is actually really quite odd. I come here every year and I've researched all sorts of documents, but I don't understand it at all. Yeah. Wasn't it just a note? It may, to be fair, if it's a really serious case that has, I don't know, for example, really corrupt parties that are still in operation, that could be a reason. Or even so, it could be a criminal that after 12 years hasn't been put to justice. It would be weirder if you actually did discover something from it. But I'm going to be honest, I kind of get the feeling that it's just grasping so, like, it's just such a grasp of sort of, you know, like finding a needle in a haystack that I doubt it's actually going to happen, because this is a public airport. I mean, even just from standing and visiting there every time, is she really going to be able to find anything, I wonder? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is true though. Tomoe seemed off. Yeah, that's actually fair enough. I mean, she definitely seems a lot less defiant than she normally would be. Of course, she may have been disappointed after 12 years of striking out, but to Madoka, her sister, needed to be more confident and prideful. Yeah, otherwise it would be difficult to get through this without support, wouldn't it? Well, this is just my own guess, but... maybe it's just a public safety concern. Maybe something like that over time. After saying that, Madoka pointed her chin towards the slope on the opposite end of the airport, and over there was... Oh, a posted relocation of Kageboushi Airport international flights. Don't take away the jobs of facility workers. Oh. Interesting, the hill's riddled with those placards, probably made by local residents.
勝手だよね。
How selfish.
空港ができる少し前までは騒音問題だの事故
Oh,
の危
that's
険性
actually
だ
quite
の
funny. So these people are just going to complain about anything they can. At the same time, though, I think stuff like, you know, I suppose, yeah, taking away the jobs is valid, but yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, yeah. But now the tables are dead, they changed their tune on a dime. What hypocrites? Oh, yeah, fair enough. Can't be helped. There are a lot of people working in this airport at the moment. If you lose your livelihood and downsizing, you're in trouble no matter who you are. Yeah. More like they're after subsidies. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, right. Since Monica had lived in this town for longer than Tomoe, she understood the real intentions of these residents. That's why she couldn't help but feel cynical. So what actually is a subsidy? I've heard that word so many times. Oh. A grant or contribution of money, right? Yeah, that's actually fair enough. Yeah, getting compensation from people that are very high up that that operate within the city. Could you imagine living near an airport or right next to an airport or something like that? That would be ridiculous. That would be so cool though. Sorrow and anger at being robbed of your dear old house and land was as clear as day. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. But before and after the airport installation, the main demand of the local resident citizens movement was just a request for subsidies. Oh, interesting. Because they've actually made it so that people that used to live there have actually had to move, and their old houses have completely been knocked down, I'd assume, just in preparation for building the airport. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Oh, so they've really tried to take the piss out of it, yeah. And many of them didn't use the money to relocate. Instead, they invested it into renovating their existing homes. And as time went on, the local occupants continued pushing movements for additional subsidies. God. Yeah, that supposedly led delays in the expansion of the airport. Yeah, and I really wonder what would happen if they didn't actually get granted the subsidies, because they'd probably complain to higher authorities, and then they'd probably just do something that would obviously get these people in real trouble. Thanks to that, there was no choice but to begin construction of a new airport. God, that really is quite sad. Thanks to that, there was no choice but to begin construction of a new airport, which greatly harmed the importance of this airport and caused many people to lose their jobs. How hopeless. Even now, it seems there are all sorts of backstage deals being made. Interesting. Rumours about the involvement of big shot politicians. Oh.
似たようなことがあったのかもね。
So there may have been similar public security issues 12 years ago.
憶測で決めつけても真実は突き止められないわね。
Yeah, definitely, yeah. There's no way of telling as well. It's really quite impossible.
それに
Plus, she didn't need to hear anything more. It was something Madoka realized just by doing a little thinking. So, knowing Tomoe and her sharp intuition, she likely already investigated the matter. And yeah, you really think that she wouldn't have thought about it entirely for a lot of time. She would have, easily. God, I really wonder how many subsidies they were actually having together. And I wonder how much the subsidies actually consisted of. Like, maybe... It's either going to be something really quite big, like, I don't know, maybe $10,000 worth of yen. Or maybe it's something like few hundred, maybe. Lower, like, 1 to 5,000, maybe. I don't know. So they're getting subsidies, and yet they're just not happy with it. They're going to try and push their privilege as much as they can. God. And that's actually really quite surprising that as a result of people, you know, just being so hungry for money, you know, the general public that's near the airport, they've not only had to delay the airport, but they've, you know, as a result of that, they've got a lot of careers that could have potentially thrived, just completely, I don't know, completely, they've made them completely insignificant. And she understood that discussing it any further was just a waste of time. No, I know. Yeah. All the way until the 12th anniversary of Dad's death. Oh, God, yeah. I did my best, but in the end it was useless. Maybe he scolded me for this. No, no way. If he scolded her for doing something like this, that would just be evil. Thinking about her father's character, Madoka was absolutely sure that wasn't the case. Oh, right. Oh, God. That was who he was. He would have admired her determination to keep trying for 12 years to make peace. I couldn't agree more. So he would never speak ill or look down on her. He would be full of praise. He sounds like a really quite loving dad. Of course, Tomoe probably knew that too. That's why she was sad and frustrated. Yeah, fair. Well, that's that. You done here, sis? Let's head out. Okay. Yeah, she doesn't really have much reason to be here. I'll grab a taxi and head home. You've got to be kidding me. So she's not actually going to get home by her sister. What the fuck happened to her face? That just looks like the ultimate demonic expression. I can imagine her getting people into some really embarrassing situations. Let's just say that. You're way too stiff. Like with that face even. Let me guess, you don't want to use a patrol car for your own personal use, right? That's part of it too. Oh, there's a place I want to stop at on the way home. Where?
歯医者。
Well, the dentist.
先々週からひどく
It's
て。
been bothering me ever since the week before last. Oh gosh, has she got some sort of teeth problem? Huh? Oh god, what is this? Monaco stared blankly at Tomoe's blushing face. Brushing face. Got to think of it, she was frowning and rubbing her cheeks a moment ago. Oh, does she have some sort of... No, wait. Looking at it in hindsight, all the times that Tomoe had an upset look on her face since their last fight, in reality, it was all due to a tooth... You have got to be kidding me. She's... What the fuck? You have got to be kidding me. So she's had a toothache for basically a month, and yet she's not checked it out. Jesus Christ. In other words, what Madoka thought Tomoe was so upset about was nothing but a misunderstanding. Yeah, definitely. Oh my god. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Oh. So they could have been talking to each other like normal all this time instead of engaging in a verbal Cold War. A verbal Cold War, I love it. Wow, after all that, I was making a fuss about nothing. Yeah, I know, that is so funny, that. Thinking of it that way, it seemed a little funny. If anything, it was Madoka who'd been the stuff. Yeah, definitely, yeah. She has such a long smile, I swear to God. Her smile was like if I did that. If you like, because you imagine just putting like visual novel character proportions on like realistic human beings. That'd be so funny. Hanyu. How would her horns look on like a human being, I wonder? What is it? Oh, it's probably just that. Nothing really. I love that her eyes is just completely devoid of brown pupils. Brown iris even. I'll bring to the dentist later, but let's go out together first. Oh, where are they going to go? I love how provoked she is. What? Where are they going? A few minutes later. Oh. What? Why would you cancel your dentist appointment? Oh my god, I mean, I get that her health, let's be honest, probably isn't the biggest of her priorities, but like, still, I can't believe that she cancelled her dentist appointment. So she's not going to be able to get that for days now, obviously because of how busy her work schedule is. Tomoe cancelled her dentist appointment and hopped into Madoka's car, and they headed towards Kageboushi Station. Yeah. Oh, so that's the end. That's actually really quite fun, that. Yeah, I really liked, I thought what we read today was, what we read just then, that was really quite nice. I think there's a tip after this as well. Yeah, new airport construction plan. Oh, that's actually going to be really quite interesting. I love tips like this, they're really quite relevant as well. Oh, I did not mean to view all the tips. That's actually quite nice that we don't get all the tips that can be unlocked during the chapter, as opposed to, we only get the ones that are here. Right, this is going to be quite interesting. That must hurt so much for Tomoe though, the toothache. Especially because he's a fucking glutton as well. Like, I can't imagine how much she must have to live with that and endure it. Necessity of developing a new Chibu International Airport. Chibu International Airport, Kageboushi Airport. Oh, is a major gateway to the sky for the Chibu and Tokai regions. It currently serves district flights to Asia, Europe, and the United States. Jesus Christ. And it boasts the 5th highest passenger count in Japan. Wow, so that really is big territory they're talking about. However, the number of flights has increased due to the recent trend of internationalization. In order to cope with that, there are strict capacity limits on all facilities, including the runway. Oh, right. Unfortunately, efforts to procure the surrounding land necessary to expand the runway have proven unfruitful due to the opposition campaign led by local residents. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's actually really quite a big nightmare. Moreover, maintenance and development of existing facilities has grown difficult due to year-over-year compensation increases. Therefore, the most effective strategy for future industrial development is to build a new large-scale airport in a different area. Yeah, definitely. Two, elimination of coexistence between military and private facilities. Since the Air Self-Defense Force base is located adjacent to Kageboushi Airport, SDF aircraft often use the same runways for military purposes. Oh, right, that's actually fair enough, yeah. However, due to the difference in performance between civilian and military aircraft, coupled with the increased rate of domestic and international flight, several problems have arisen from the elevated complexity of air traffic control operations. Yeah, fair. Therefore, in order to prevent or reduce the risk of a major accident, separation of facilities should be established as soon as possible. Yeah, that's understandable. A fundamental solution for this problem too is the construction of a new airport. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wonder if in the new airport, obviously, you could probably half the amount of military airplanes that actually need to go using the Kageboushi Airport, and obviously wherever the new one's going to be. A fundamental solution. Excerpt of a white paper from. So that was it. Interesting. Yeah, so that's actually really quite cool. So that's actually really quite something though. So these villages of opposition movements are literally stopping the development. By the way, I've never seen that before, but like it's literally stopping the development of the entire country. It's really quite surprising that. It's just also quite surprising that the SDF used the planes for any sort of. What the fuck? Why are we in Angel? Oh yeah, Kageboushi City. Oh yeah. Oh god. Oh no. What? What the fuck are they doing in Angel Moore? What? Oh my god. Right. Has there been some sort of case of, I don't know, assault in Angel Moore or something ridiculous like that? I don't know. That's actually really quite interesting. So, yeah, that is fair enough. That because obviously you have to utilize the maximum performance from the military vehicles, but at the same time you have to do the same with the just normal, not vehicles, sorry, planes, and yeah, same place. It's just like, I don't know, for example, if you're, let's just say if you have a faster walking speed than somebody else and you're walking behind them, you're just going to be really frustrated. You're not going to obviously bash into them like the plane would, but yeah, your overall speed is going to be really impacted, which I'm assuming happens here. Yeah, so they actually have to do this even if they didn't want to, but that's actually really quite interesting. So this is really quite big if someone like some sort of organisation like that is getting involved. Right, so that's actually going to be really quite interesting seeing what's actually happening tomorrow. Well, what's going to happen next time we read this. I don't know if we're going to read it today or tomorrow, but yeah, that was really quite fun what we read today. Yeah, I really like the beginning. I really found it interesting, just seeing Akasaka Oishi reunion, seeing their theories on the whole Oyashiro-sama related things, and the curse and the fact that they're sort of really starting to get to the idea already that this disaster may be man-made. It may not be the fault of, you know, some weird-ass volcanic gas. And it's going to be really quite interesting just to see how they sort of come to that conclusion. And yeah, I found that stuff really quite interesting. And then also with Madoka and Tomoe, it was really nice just to sort of, you know, learn more about their relationship and to learn more about them, those two in general, really. To definitely learn about Madoka and, yeah, just how she differs from Tomoe and, yeah, the whole Kageboushi airport thing, that's actually really quite interesting as well. I really want to, because you imagine if in this story we actually find something that has significance to, you know, her father, or maybe in like the ultimate story, like, I'd assume like Miyotsukushi Yuda would probably be like the one where, I don't know, I'd assume Miyotsukushi Yuda would be the story that's probably going to be closest to a good ending. So yeah, I don't know, I'd just assume in like something like that maybe she'd find it, because yeah, I know in Uda she actually, I'd assume she tries to solve the case of Hinamizawa in June 1983 before the gas disaster, but I don't know. I was going to be really quite excited to see, but yeah, I'm going to head out now, so yeah, really hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, see ya.